Chapter 40-23. Lin Xian didn't know that Wuxia was on the Twin Rain planet, and that her strength had become so terrifying. She could even control 2 small saints and a large number of fifth firmament experts. This method was really too incredible. At this moment he was still cultivating buzz. When he sensed an extremely terrifying danger, he opened his eyes. He instantly tore open the void. In an instant he arrived above the 9 heavens. The next moment, a terrifying attack came towards him again. Lin Xian directly came to the outer space. It wasn't that he was afraid, but that his heart ached. This was his world. If he really destroyed it, he wouldn't be able to find anyone to compensate. Therefore, he didn't want to fight here. Who is it? Come out. How dare you assassinate me? Which holy city are you from? In his opinion, it was very likely that it was the people from Thunder God City and the Myriad Sword Pavilion. Still not giving up? In the next moment, the void split open, and a man in black armor walked out. He carried 2 sabers on his back, and the aura on his body was very cold. He had reached the late 5th firmament. Someone from the Fiend planet? Lin Xian frowned. Do you know who I am? You dare to fight with me? Lin Xian sneered. His current reputation could resound throughout the 2nd astral realm. Those geniuses from the holy city didn't dare to attack him. A mere Fiend planet dared to be so arrogant? With a clang, the expert from the Fiend planet pulled out the 2 sabers on his back and danced quickly. Terrifying saber lights were densely packed as they slashed towards the front. Unable to withstand a single blow, Lin Xian sneered. He waved his hand and clawed forward, directly tearing apart the saber lights that filled the sky. Then he slapped over. The saint spat out blood and flew backwards, his body splitting open. At the same time, 3 figures appeared on Lin Xian's left, right and back. The 3 figures were wearing different clothes. Obviously, they weren't from the same family or sect. However, the 3 of them were all ice saints. The law of ice spread out and directly enveloped the place where Lin Xian was. Countless ice instantly formed on Lin Xian's body. He became an ice sculpture. Trying to trap me with mere ice. With a slight shake of his body, the ice quickly cracked. At this moment, a purple claw came over. A slap landed on his body. Lin Xian raised his hand to block. With a dang sound, the heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. He was blasted backwards, his entire arm numb. Little saint. At this moment, he finally frowned. It seemed to be a demonic beast. Were they from the demon city? How could they set up such a simple trap? Lin Xian's blood and qi circulated in his body. The divine flame surged and healed his numb arm. He sneered. 1,000 Demon City? Interesting. I'll play with you. A crackling sound came from his body. The demonic beast's face darkened when it saw that the other party wasn't injured. A 5th heavenly layer, Ant was actually able to engage in close combat with him. This really surprised him. Roar. He roared and attacked again. As a saber-toothed tiger, his physique and strength were unparalleled. Moreover, he was just a little saint. His strength was terrifying to the extreme. Lin Xian laughed. He was still fearless and used his divine body to fight back. The 2 of them fought until the heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. Buzz. At this moment, the saber-toothed tiger saint opened its mouth and spat out an ancient mirror that emitted a faint light. A terrifying ray of light pierced through it. Lin Xian felt a chill run down his spine. However, this was a terrifying saint artifact. His body flickered, and he tore through the void to dodge it. However, at the same time, a terrifying white bone hand grabbed at him from behind. With a boom, it enveloped him, and then a terrifying ghost qi engulfed him. He was too weak to withstand a single blow. In the void, another black-robed man walked out. It was Li Tianxing. The corner of his mouth was curled up in a sinister smile. The battle this time was too simple. However, at the next moment his pupils suddenly shrank. That was because the white bone claw he had shot out had exploded, and a golden figure had rushed out. How is this possible? You're not affected. He was stunned. He was a little saint. How could his opponent block his laws? What kind of physique is this? At the same time, he felt that there were black chains on his opponent's golden body. What a terrifying death aura. This is the law of death. The 2 little saints were indeed prepared. One was the Myriad Demon City, the other was the Ghost Nether region. Is there anyone else? Come out. Don't hide anymore. A few more figures appeared in the surroundings. They were all late-stage 5th heavenly layer, and they belonged to different sections. Lin Xian frowned. There were so many sects, and only 2 little saints, and they wanted to kill him? Who else is there? Come out. Golden light bloomed in his eyes. You're still as arrogant as ever. 2 little saints are enough to kill you. At that instant, a seductive voice echoed between the heavens and earth. The eyes of the surrounding saints were all burning. Their bodies began to tremble with excitement. Lin Xian frowned and snorted coldly. He felt that his soul was being disturbed by an inexplicable force. His soul was so strong that it was able to resist it very quickly. It was the people of the Joyous Union Palace. He frowned slightly. He had felt this similar aura from Qin Xianer before, but Qin Xianer was even more terrifying. At least you're knowledgeable enough to recognize my identity. However, do you really know who I am? In the sky, a bewitching woman walked over. Could it be that Qin Xianer is here? But even if it's her, I'm not afraid. But soon Lin Xian was stunned. Even his expression became strange. It's you. He found a familiar face. He actually knew the woman in front of him. Wuxia. He didn't expect to meet her here. Last time, when the Rain clan was destroyed, you escaped. I didn't expect you to dare to come out. It seems that you've been staying on the Double Rain planet. No. Lin Xian shook his head slightly. The aura on your body indicates that you've joined the Joyous Union Palace. You have so many questions, but when you go to the Yellow Springs, I'll burn paper money to tell you. Now go to hell. Wuxia's eyes were filled with monstrous killing intent. It was this person in front of her who had destroyed the Rain clan. Now she wanted to take revenge and tear him into pieces. Brat, I'll use your blood to pay tribute to the thousands of heroic spirits of the Rain clan. Lin Xian laughed loudly. Heroic spirits? I think they're more like wandering ghosts. Your Rain clan has only yourselves to blame for today's outcome. I'm the benefactor of your Rain clan. How did you treat your benefactor? If you had a bit of conscience, you wouldn't have ended up like this. Lin Xian snorted coldly. There was nothing to say about this matter. It was the Yu clan who were despicable and shameless first, so it was normal for him to destroy the Rain clan. Wuxia was so angry that her whole body trembled. She didn't care how despicable her clan was. She only wanted to kill him now. Attack. With a shout, the Joyous Union bell in her hand rang. Immediately, the eyes of the surrounding saints instantly turned red. The 2 little saints, in particular, let out a roar. I only saw it today. Book Friend Xian, Tunnel Dragon Tip Piaohong. Thank you, thank you. I will continue to work hard. Please support me. Chapter 40-24. Died. Li Tianxing was the first to make a move. He took out a black flag and waved it continuously. Ghostly Qi rushed out from it. On the other side, the saber-toothed tiger sage also made his move. His huge body charged over. At the same time, the ancient mirror above his head kept emitting light. Everything was destroyed. Buzz. Lin Xian condensed the death demonic blade in his left hand and slashed forward, colliding with the evil ghosts. At the same time, the great sun sword in his right hand swept out and clashed with the persevering tiger sage. Lin Xian fought against 2 alone. It was unparalleled. These 2 people were very powerful. They had been in the small saint realm for hundreds of years, so their combined strength was extremely powerful. Although Lin Xian's physical body was a saint, his laws and cultivation were not, so he felt great pressure at this moment. However, he was still not afraid. He had experienced pressure countless times in his life. He roared, and his divine body bloomed with light. The death demonic blade and the great sun sword merged with his arms. At this moment, his arms turned into sharp saint artifacts, and he kept attacking. Golden flames surged into the sky, and the Taiji diagram spun out, releasing a mysterious aura. Lin Xian used all kinds of divine abilities to fight. Around him, 6 late-stage 5th firmament cultivators formed a formation and attacked, releasing terrifying laws and divine abilities. They did not dare to get close. The 6 of them combined into a formation, which was also mysterious. Lin Xian used stellar transposition, and transferred the attack of the formation to the 2 great sage cultivators. In an instant, a great battle broke out, and it was difficult to tell who would win. In the distance, the joyous bell in Yushichi's hand kept ringing, but she was extremely shocked. Damn it, this guy is actually so strong. It's really unbelievable. It was not that she had not heard of the other party's legend, but no matter how strong he was, he could only fight against a saint. Now 2 saints and 6 late-stage 5th firmament cultivators joined forces, but they could not do anything to him? Thinking of this, her face darkened. It seemed that she had to do it herself. The joyous bell sent out countless sound waves, sweeping towards Lin Xian's soul. Lin Xian felt the impact on his soul. Dang. A golden blade of light blocked the sound waves of the joyous union bells in his divine eye. At the same time he roared. Slash. He slashed into the distance. Terrifying sword chi swept out, turning into waves, flames, and terrifying mountains. He directly killed those late-stage 5th firmament cultivators. He was too strong. They could not even block a single move. They could only rely on the 2 small saints now. Yusiki was also shocked. The other party's strength was beyond her expectations. You really surprised me. No wonder Leijun could die in your hands. But today, you'll die without a doubt. At my command, kill him, no matter the cost. Yushichi's dreamy voice drifted over to him. Lin Xian. The eyes of Saber-Toothed Tiger and Li Tianxing, who were fighting with him, instantly turned red. They burst out with endless light as though they had gone mad. The laws on their bodies burned fiercely, and their power suddenly exploded. It seemed that they wanted to attack regardless of anything. Everything was destroyed with a single blow. Lin Xian felt a great threat. It was enough to hurt him. He used the space escape technique and used the space escape technique to dodge the attack. After dodging, his face turned pale. That was close. 2 minor saints had sacrificed themselves to unleash a full-powered attack. It was truly hair-raising. Damn it. How could it be? How could these 2 small saints be manipulated by others? It was possible to ask a little saint for help, but to ask 2 little saints to burn everything they had without regard for their own lives was not something that anyone could do. Could it be that Wuxia had reached such a terrifying level that she could control small saints? He did not believe it. Yushichi's cultivation was a minor level lower than his, at the early 5th level. It would be too heaven-defying for someone like her to control a little saint. Seeing that their attack missed, the 2 small saints burned their blood and law again. They attacked madly. The ancient mirror grew bigger and bigger, shooting out a ray of light that covered the entire void. On the other side, the black flag also covered the sky. Both of them launched a sure-kill attack. Lin Xian felt great pressure. His figure flickered, and he took out the Great Sage Pagoda to block it. He blocked the terrifying ancient mirror. The 2 collided violently. At the same time, he pulled out the dragon sword soul. He slashed at the black flag. Boom. Boom. The black flag trembled from the beating, and cracks even appeared on it. Damn it. Li Tianxing's heart bled when he saw this. He frantically withdrew the flag. His eyes turned red when he saw his flag was damaged. Seeing this, Yushichi's heart jumped. What was that thing? That sword shadow was too terrifying. Attack. Attack. The joyous union bell in his hand shook continuously. Li Tianxing's heart ached, but after receiving the order, he went crazy again. The broken flag charged out once again. Lin Xian swung the sword shadow, forming a taiji diagram. It spun continuously to block the terrifying black aura. At the same time he roared. His peerless sword technique seemed to tear the universe apart. After a great battle, the black flag was completely destroyed. Li Tianxing was also sent flying, vomiting blood. A hint of fear appeared in his infatuated expression. Damn it, this young man was too terrifying. He could actually injure him. On the other side, the saber-toothed tiger saint also roared. He used the ancient mirror to block the Great Sage Pagoda. At the same time, he charged over. His body carried an extremely terrifying demonic light that tore through heaven and earth. Tigers were the king of beasts. As the tiger saint, his power was even more terrifying. Every move he made could shatter the stars. His peerless sword technique was even more terrifying. Lin Xian's expression was also solemn. However, he did not retreat. Instead, he charged over. He used his fists and legs to contend with his opponent. In an instant, the two of them exchanged more than 1,000 moves, and they both retreated. Lin Xian's body was numb. On the other side, the saber-toothed tiger saint's body was cracked, and many parts of his bones were exposed. He was defeated in a close combat contest. Kill! Lin Xian charged over again. His fists became more and more terrifying, and his body bloomed with light. The stars lost their brilliance. The stars in the sky were scattered by him. In the end, he shattered the saber-toothed tiger saint's head with a punch. The saber-toothed tiger saint's headless body charged over. On the other side, Li Tianxing also charged over. His entire body was ferocious, and the devil horns on his head had grown out. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He held the dragon shadow with both hands and swept it across. Their bodies were split into 4 halves, and their blood dyed the void red. How was that possible? The 2 minor saints were dumbfounded. They couldn't believe it. The 2 of them couldn't defeat him even if they worked together? Wuxia was also stunned. Damn it, give me your lives, she screamed. Chapter 40-25. The 2 minor saints' expressions were ferocious. To be honest, they were really unwilling to self-destruct. They wanted to struggle free, but they were quickly controlled. Their bodies suddenly split apart. The entire universe was filled with light and light. It was as if the sun had split open. At this moment, the people on Double Rain Planet were also stunned. They looked up at the sky. Damn it, what was happening up there? Someone was fighting. They didn't dare to go over. That terrifying aura made everyone's hair stand on end. The power of the self-destruction of 2 minor saints could really destroy everything. Lin Xian was instantly swallowed up. He should be dead now, right? The corner of Yu Shiqi's mouth raised into a cold smile. She had finally gotten her revenge. Boom. In front of her, in the terrifying destructive energy, a figure quickly charged out and attacked Wuxia. Wuxia screamed, scared out of her wits. She found that the other party wasn't dead at all, and he seemed to be unharmed. How was this possible? She was really too shocked. She quickly retreated, but how could she be a match for Lin Xian? Lin Xian arrived in front of her in an instant and grabbed her neck with one hand. Wuxia couldn't breathe at all. With your little strength, you still want to take revenge? Is that possible? Lin Xian's eyes bloomed with extremely terrifying killing intent. Yu Shiqi's body was also cold, but at this moment, a mandarin duck curved blade appeared in her hand. Die. Wuxia revealed a cold smile. This was his ultimate move, the endless blade of affection. Even a minor saint couldn't withstand it, let alone the other party. The blade light slashed down coldly. Lin Xian snorted coldly and raised his hand to block. But soon he was stunned, because he found that the blade had cut through his body as if it was an illusion. What was going on? Wasn't it a physical attack? Suddenly he had a splitting headache. He felt that his soul had been attacked. This was a soul attack. This blade was a blade of the soul. Lin Xian covered his head and fell into a struggle. He also withdrew his hand that was grabbing Yu Shiqi's neck. His eyes were ferocious and incomparably red. Wuxia was gasping for air, but she was smiling. How is it? Do you think you can withstand my trump card? Don't worry, I won't kill you. But from now on you're my slave. For the rest of your life, you can only crawl at my feet. I will torture you for the rest of your life. Yusuke finally laughed out loud. She could finally get her revenge. She wanted her enemy to be tortured for the rest of his life. Lin Xian had indeed suffered a soul attack. Furthermore, this soul attack seemed to be trying to influence him and make him fall in love with this woman. Furthermore, they would serve the other party for all eternity. How could this be? Lin Xian snorted coldly. Destroy. His heavenly fate god eyes quickly opened, and the golden vortex continued to destroy this power. The great dragon sword spirit roared and rushed in. Together with the heavenly secret divine eyes, it destroyed the power of the endless saber technique. In the next moment, Lin Xian's eyes suddenly emitted a golden glow. I'll be a slave for the rest of my life. Very well, I'll accept your offer. I've also decided not to kill you. I'll make you my slave for the rest of your life. How could this be? You weren't affected. Yusuke was so frightened that she took 3 steps back, her face pale. At this moment, she was finally terrified. Because her greatest trump card was the endless saber technique. After she left the Double Rain planet, she had a fortuitous encounter, and met a big shot of the Joyous Union sect. She had entered the Joyous Union sect, and obtained her current cultivation base, because of that big shot. Even the sentimental and endless saber in her hand was a treasure given to her by that big shot. It was for the sake of nurturing her. With the endless saber technique and the Joyous Union technique, Yusiki had been successful in every endeavor. She had even subdued many minor saints. In her opinion, killing Lin Xian would be a piece of cake. However, reality exceeded her expectations. He had actually broken free from the endless saber technique's control. How did you do it? That was impossible. What kind of trump card did he have? In the next moment, when she saw Lin Xian's golden eyes, her body trembled and revealed a trace of fear. Your eye technique is actually so terrifying. Let me show you what true control is. Lin Xian pushed the heavenly secret divine eye to its limits. Yusiki tried her best to resist, but she couldn't. The heavenly secret child prodigy's strangeness and terror had completely exceeded her expectations. In the next moment, she felt a seal being planted in the depths of her soul. This seal wouldn't cause any damage to her soul, but it could affect her soul and make her submit to him forever. She struggled violently, even wanting to use the endless saber technique to resist. However, she was still a step too late. If she had known the power of the heavenly secret divine eye from the beginning, and been on full alert, she might have been able to resist. But now it was all too late. She had been planted with a soul seal, completely becoming Lin Xian's slave. For Lin Xian, planting a slave seal like this wasn't difficult at all. In particular, his heavenly secret divine eye had its own special eye technique. At this moment, he was using one of them. This kind of soul seal was very effective after being planted. It wouldn't affect the other party's talent, thoughts, or various actions. It was only about him. Any order he gave, the other party had to submit. This was the power of this soul seal. What did you do to me? Yusiki screamed crazily. Lin Xian's lips curled into a cold smile. Naturally, I'll make you my slave according to your agreement. As he spoke, he used his eye technique. Submit to me now. No. I won't submit to you. Yusiki also screamed crazily, but her body involuntarily knelt down. Even her voice couldn't help but come out. Greetings, master. Damn it, how could it be like this? After bowing, Yusiki screamed in horror. However, she still knelt there, her face full of fear. She discovered that although she could clearly sense everything, she had no choice but to submit to the other party's orders. This was really too terrifying. It seemed even more terrifying than the endless saber technique. The effect wasn't bad. Let's try again. Stand up and take off your clothes. Hearing this, Yusiki screamed. No. However, she couldn't help but stand up. Her hands even began to quickly unbutton her clothes. Soon her clothes slipped down. Damn it. Yusiki closed her eyes. She opened her eyes and looked at me. Lin Xian gave another order. Yusiki's eyes were forcefully opened by a force. This was the change that occurred after her body received the order. However, her emotions were violently trembling. No. 2 streams of tears flowed down her face. Right now she felt worse than death. Could it be that she would be tortured like this for the rest of her life? Right now she was very regretful. When her clan was exterminated, she had successfully escaped. If she had hidden, she could have spent her life safely. However, she wanted revenge. She even thought that she could succeed. If the heavens gave her another chance, she wouldn't dare to take revenge even if she was beaten to death. Chapter 40-26. Very good. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian smiled in satisfaction. He said, "Tell me everything about your experiences over the years, and don't hide anything." This was Yushichi's secret. She didn't want to say it at all, but she couldn't control her mouth at all. Next, Wuxia told him everything that had happened over the years. It turned out that when the spirit clan was exterminated, after she escaped, she wandered into the starry sky. During this time, she met an injured woman in a world. At that time, she was also on the run, so she sympathized and helped this woman. 3 years later, this woman woke up. She didn't expect that she was a big shot in the Hahuan sect. She had a high position and was powerful. However, she was injured in the battle and almost died. When she woke up, she found Wuxia. Firstly, Wuxia saved her life, and she was grateful. Secondly, she found that Wuxia's physique was naturally suitable for their Hahuan pavilion. Therefore, she took Wuxia as her disciple and passed down the affection blade. Then Wuxia used the affection blade and the powerful Hahuan technique to start the process of subduing those saints. Lin Xian was extremely surprised when he heard this. This Wuxia actually had such a fortuitous encounter. It was really hard to believe. Moreover, he revealed a strange expression because he found that although the saints that the other party had captured were all infatuated. However, it seemed that they hadn't even touched Wuxia's little finger. It was really terrifying to be able to play with saints in the palm of her hand. However, he soon narrowed his eyes. In that case, you were still there the first time. Since that was the case, he couldn't waste it. What do you want to do? Hearing this, Wuxia took 2 steps back. Although she practiced the joyous union technique and had controlled many saints, she was still a virgin. Now that she had fallen into the hands of this great demon king, how could she have a good ending? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. What do you think I want to do? I'm your benefactor. But what about you? You've tried to kill me time and time again. Even after your clan has been exterminated, you still don't know how to repent and want to kill me. Since that's the case, how can I let you go? Previously, when I first came to the Double Rain planet, I heard that you have the super strong bloodline of the Rain clan. If that's the case, your bloodline will be able to nourish the other party and greatly increase their strength. That's why so many geniuses wanted to woo you back then. Now, I want to have a taste of what is so miraculous about your Rain clan's bloodline. No, you can't be like this. Wuxia screamed in fright. She almost fainted. Would the other party really dare to do such a thing to her? Lin Xian sneered. This was not up to him. With a wave of his hand, he took out the Great Sage Pagoda and said, "Go in and wash yourself clean." Wuxia was about to go crazy. However, her body involuntarily approached the Great Sage Pagoda. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. He disposed of the corpses of the saints and collected their storage rings and other valuables. If it was useful, he would take it. If it was useless, he would put it into the 8 trigrams furnace to use as energy. Then he walked into the Great Sage Tower. Buzz! He controlled the Great Sage Tower and entered the depths of the Double Rain planet. Inside the Great Sage Pagoda, Wuxia had already washed herself clean. At this moment, her heart was apprehensive to the extreme. Lin Xian walked in. I hope that your bloodline will not disappoint me. He picked up Wuxia, making love on a mountain of Wu, spending a beautiful night together. After an unknown amount of time, Wuxia woke up. She looked at the blood on the ground and the changes in her body. She screamed crazily. At this moment, a voice came from beside her. Lower your voice, my ears are about to go deaf. Damn it! Wuxia jumped up. She was about to go crazy. Lin Xian said. It had to be said that the Rain clan's bloodline was really strong. It actually allowed me to advance by a realm. Thank you. Now I am already a late-stage 5th firmament person. Indeed, this was something that even Lin Xian did not dare to believe. How long had it been since his last breakthrough? Yet he was still able to make another breakthrough. This made him feel as if he was dreaming. It seemed that not killing the other party and making her his maid was the right choice. You broke through, you actually broke through. Wuxia felt like she was going crazy. She actually helped her enemy break through a realm. This was even worse than death. Suddenly, she discovered that she had also broken through, reaching the middle stage of the 5th firmament. For a moment, she was also stunned. It could be said that her emotions were extremely complicated. Alright, I'm hungry. Prepare some food for me. I want to eat. Lin Xian gave the order first. Wuxia was extremely unwilling, but she had no choice but to start preparing. After tasting the benefits of the Rain clan's bloodline, Lin Xian let Wuxia accompany him for the next 2 months. Wu Mountain Sex. His strength increased every time he went through the 9 tribulations. Of course, he did not break through again. Because the first effect was the best, that was why he broke through. On this day Lin Xian stood up. It was about time to find Qingcheng. It would be best if he met that Jianchen and killed him. Go outside and gather information for me. Look for Morong Qingcheng and Jianingcheng. Where are they now? Wuxia left the Great Sage Pagoda. One day later she returned. At the same time, she brought back news. It turned out that during this period, Morong Qingcheng had been chasing after Jianchen. It seemed that she treated it as cultivation. At this moment, the two of them were on Qingshui planet. It was said that Jianchen was about to collapse these days, so he did not plan to escape anymore. He wanted to fight to the death with the other party on Qingshui planet. Fight to the death? With just him? Humph. Lin Xian snorted coldly and headed towards Qingshui planet. The two of them left Twin Rain planet and headed towards Qingshui planet. At this moment, Qingshui planet was extremely lively. Because of Morong Qingchen and Jianchen, the second astral realm was shaken. When the news spread, those experts all headed towards Qingshui planet. Therefore, Qingshui planet was extremely lively. Countless experts and geniuses had come. It was even rumored that many top experts from the holy city would come to watch the battle. Amidst this lively scene, two figures landed. It was Lin Xian and Wuxia. After the two of them landed, they found out that the battle had not started yet. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. Luckily, he had arrived early. Let's go. The two of them shuttled through the air quickly. However, gradually, Lin Xian realized that someone seemed to be watching him. This time, Lin Xian had changed his appearance on Qingshui planet. This was because his identity was too influential. If he came, everyone would probably attack him again. Lin Xian was here to help Morong Qingcheng. He did not want to cause too much trouble. At least, he did not want to scare Jianchen away. Therefore, she changed her appearance. Logically speaking, it should not attract attention. However, he realized that at least 10 pairs of eyes were staring at him along the way. Chapter 40-27. What was going on? Had he been discovered? That was impossible. With his methods, these people would not be able to discover him unless a holy venerable came. No, he soon realized that these gazes were not directed at him, but at Wuxia beside him. He had to admit that Wuxia was a peerless beauty who could seduce people. Standing there, she basically did not speak. A look or a movement was enough to make countless people go crazy. Wuxia originally had the weak water body, and the power of her bloodline was enough to make countless people go crazy. Not to mention now that she had joined the Hehuan sect and cultivated this Hehuan technique. Her charm was even more unparalleled. So along the way, she attracted the attention of countless people. Finally, someone could not take it anymore. Two figures appeared in front of them, blocking their path. Brother, please wait. These were two young men. One was handsome, and the other was tall. Although they were talking to Lin Xian, their gazes were all on Wuxia. Not only that, but three people also appeared on his left and right. These people were all looking at Wuxia. One of them said, "Brother, why don't we discuss something with you?" Lin Xian frowned slightly. The other person beside him snorted coldly and said, "I've taken a fancy to this woman of yours. Give her to me, and you can get lost now. I can let you go. If you don't know what's good for you, then I'll send you to hell." Lin Xian narrowed his eyes at this threat. He looked at Wuxia. "It's all your fault." Wuxia rolled her eyes. "It's none of my business. I didn't do anything. If I wanted to cause trouble, I reckon the entire world would come to kill you." Indeed, she really had this kind of charm. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The other party was his servant now, not his enemy. So the other party did not dare to do so. He looked forward and said coldly, "I'm in a hurry. If you don't want to die, get lost. You don't know what's good for you. Can you fight against so many of us by yourself? Let's join forces and kill him." "Yes, we can share this beauty." The few of them revealed sinister smiles. Such a peerless beauty was hard to come by in 1,000 years. Even if there were, they were in the hands of some old monsters or had very noble status. They did not even dare to think about it. This time they met a lone beauty. How could he possibly let go? In an instant, the 7 of them attacked. Terrifying laws and divine abilities blasted towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian shouted coldly and slashed forward with his sword. The void in front of him cracked open and swallowed all of the energy. Get lost. With a roar, his sound waves seemed to have turned into endless waves, crashing in all directions. All 7 of them spat out blood as they were sent flying, their faces filled with terror. The other party was actually this strong? Damn it, damn it. He was unwilling to accept this. It wasn't easy for them to encounter such an opportunity, so how could they give it up? They gritted their teeth, wanting to fight with their lives on the line. At this moment, a loud laughter rang out. Good lad, so he was a top-notch genius. No wonder he had such a peerless beauty. However, I have my eyes on your woman. An old voice sounded. Then an old man descended from the sky. The 7 of them were originally furious. There was actually someone who dared to snatch their woman. Was he courting death? But when they sensed the aura of the old man, all of them shrunk their necks in fear. Early 6th Heaven Saint, this was a small saint. Firmament, small saint, have both made their moves? This time, let's see how this kid will die. The 7 of them did not leave. Instead, they looked at this scene with a cold smile. Although they couldn't get their hands on the woman, they would still feel great if the beauty was snatched away. They thought evilly. Kid, I won't bully you. I'll give you a magical treasure. Take it and leave quickly. As he said that, he threw a sword over. Lin Xian glanced at it and sneered. It wasn't even a saint weapon, but you wanted to use it to exchange for a beauty. Do you have the life to take it? I'll give you a chance to live. Get lost quickly, otherwise don't blame me for being rude. So what if the other party was a small saint? Now 3 small saints had died in his hands. He didn't mind adding one more. The 7 of them were stunned. Is this kid an idiot? How dare he talk to a small saint like this? Humph, who does he think he is? He's too arrogant. Does he think he can compete with a small saint just because he can defeat the 7 of us? This time, let's see how he will die. Kid, do you know who you are talking to? The little saint was infuriated. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. He stretched out a palm and slapped forward. He wanted to destroy the other party's soul with this strike. Lin Xian's eyes burst out with an extremely terrifying light. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish too. The golden light in Lin Xian's eyes was really terrifying. He took a step forward, and his divine body bloomed. A terrifying fist directly blasted out. It was as if the sun had lit up the whole sky. Asterisk boom. Asterisk the small saint was directly sent flying. His body was broken, and he vomited blood. How could this be? The 7 people around were so scared that they wet their pants. That was a small saint. How could he not even be able to withstand a punch? Who is this young man? They were on guard. The small saint's pupils constricted. The pain in his body made him crazy. He was actually injured by a young man. And by a 5th celestial layer at that. How could this be? How could there be such a terrifying person in the world? Who are you? He stopped and quickly recovered. He gritted his teeth and asked. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The person who will kill you. His body swayed, and he rushed out. Endless flames danced on his arm, turning into a terrifying flaming sword. He slashed down from the sky. How dare you underestimate me? The old man was angry. He was a small saint. How could he not kill the young man? He must have been careless just now. Go to hell. He formed a seal with his palm. Dragon trapped in 3 seas. A terrifying wave appeared in his palm. At the same time, there were 2 more waves on his left and right that rushed forward together. Even if it was a dragon, he would be able to kill it, let alone a young man. Asterisk boom. Asterisk in an instant, Lin Xian was bound by the 3 waves and was even swallowed up. Humph, you're courting death. The old man laughed. The 7 young men also heaved a sigh of relief. They knew it. How could the young man be so heaven-defying? However, everyone was dumbfounded the next moment. The 3 waves were torn apart. Lin Xian was even more violent than a dragon. You're blocking my way. Go to hell. Lin Xian roared angrily. A terrifying light appeared in his hand. He could already kill Lei Zhen when he was at the mid-stage of the 5th heaven. Not to mention that his cultivation base had improved again. The strength of this old man was at most on par with Lei Zhen. It would be a piece of cake for him to kill the old man. Asterisk boom. Asterisk he threw out a palm that blotted out the sky and directly shrouded the old man. The old man screamed crazily. How could this be? He tried his best to resist, but he was still killed. His head fell off, and his eyes widened. Until his death, he could not believe that he was killed so easily by a young man. He could not withstand a single blow. Chapter 40-28. Behind him, Wuxia sighed when she saw this scene. As expected, these early-stage minor saints were no match for him at all. Sigh, why can't my appearance attract a sacred venerable? She desperately hoped that a sacred venerable would appear to kill him. However, it seemed unrealistic. The 7 people around her knelt on the ground. Even a minor saint was dead. Could the 7 of them fight against him? I gave you a chance, but you didn't cherish it. Don't blame me. Lin Xian waved his hand and flicked out a few sword qi, destroying the 7 people's souls. Then he turned his head and looked at Wuxia. All right, you don't have to follow me anymore. Go do your own things. If I need you, I'll look for you. Lin Xian's figure flickered and directly left. It was too troublesome to bring Wuxia along. He was in a hurry. This battle also attracted the attention of many people. After all, it was a battle between minor saints. Many people rushed over. They wanted to watch the battle. However, when they arrived, they found that the sky and earth were collapsing. There was blood of philosophical saints floating in the void. There were even cries. Song Tianya, did a minor saint fall? Their scalps went numb. Which terrifying existence did it? One had to know that from the beginning to the end of the battle, only a short time had passed. The one who made the move must be an extremely terrifying expert. Look, there's someone ahead. They saw an extremely beautiful woman walk out from the sea of blood. Every frown and smile of hers carried endless charm. She was so beautiful. Many people's eyes were red. They were stunned. Soon Wuxia also left. Behind her, 8 figures followed. These 8 people had infatuated eyes. Their eyes were burning as they prostrated themselves at Wuxia's feet. More and more experts descended on Qingshui planet. In the end, it caused an uproar. Because a genius on the pilgrim rankings had also come. The person who came was Yuquan. It seemed that he had come out of seclusion. He actually attracted Yuquan to come. As expected of Murong Qingqing and Jianqin. Why do I feel that he's coming for Lin Xian? Are you talking about that Lin Wudi? That's right. It was said that Yuquan had suffered at the hands of Lin Wudi back on planet Tianming. Now he should be looking for Lin Wudi. He wouldn't attack Murong Qingqing, would he? Countless discussions could be heard. After secluded spring came, he looked down on everyone, and no one dared to provoke him. After hearing the news, his face turned cold. Noisy. Destroy them for me. Soon their followers began to move out. Who spoke ill of our young master just now? Come here, I'll chop off his head. The other people were so scared that they fled madly. A few of the followers killed in all directions. For a while no one dared to talk about it anymore. Not long after, another figure descended, causing countless people to scream. Oh heavens, Emoshio, is he here too? It was too inconceivable. Did this Emoshio also have a grudge with Lin Wudi? Everyone was talking about it. No, why do I feel that their goal isn't just Lin Wudi? There might be something wrong with Clearwater. These people were too excited. The arrival of the 2 experts on the pilgrimage leaderboard caused an uproar. Within a few days, news about Qingshui planet spread. It turned out that Qingshui Xian, who didn't seem famous now, was extremely famous tens of thousands of years ago. It was said that an extraordinary person called Duan Qingshan appeared in that world. Later on, Duan Qingshan became a sage king. It was said that Duan Qingshan lived in seclusion on Clearwater in his later years. Perhaps his inheritance and tomb were there. There was such a rumor. Everyone was shocked. Could it be that the people on the pilgrimage leaderboard were here for Duan Qingshan? For a moment, everyone was talking about it. In a main city on Clearwater planet, there was an endless stream of people coming and going. It was the fastest place to gather information. Generally, those who wanted to gather information would go there. On the streets of the city, there were several terrifying figures walking there. They were 3 demonic beasts. One of them was incomparably red. It was a cheetah that seemed to have reached the realm of a demonic beast saint. On the other two sides, one was a majestic lion, and the other was a snow demonic wolf. The cold aura they emitted was abnormally terrifying. On the backs of the three demonic beasts, there were three figures. The one riding the snow demonic wolf was a beautiful woman. She had a round face and big eyes. She was very cute. Wherever the three of them passed, people would make way for them. It was obvious that the three of them had a powerful background. However, there was a figure in front of them who did not give way at all. Did this kid have a death wish? The man riding the fiery red cheetah snorted and was about to attack. The girl next to him said, "No, senior brother. He's only a level 5. What's wrong with that?" "That's right. We don't care about people like him." The cute girl took a few deep breaths. Then her beautiful eyes were filled with shock. "I smelled the scent of blood on his body. He seemed to have just killed someone." "So what?" The two young men next to her laughed when they heard that. There were killings in this world every day. Wasn't it easy to kill a few people? Indeed, a battle like theirs was just a common occurrence. However, the cute girl shook her head. "No, it's not that simple because the aura of his blood is the aura of a little saint. He fought with a little saint and was stained with his blood." Hearing that, the two young men next to her were stunned. The other party injured a little saint? How could a level 5 injure a little saint? The other party was not Lin Wudi. Lin Wudi was already heaven-defying enough. It was impossible for there to be a second one. My guess is that two little saints were fighting, and he was watching from nearby. That's why he has the aura of a little saint. That should be the case. The two young men found an explanation and comforted the girl. However, the cute girl shook her head and said, "Senior brother, we'd better not attack." The two young men listened to her and were also suspicious. The person in front of them was very strange. They'd better not complicate things. Therefore, they did not attack. The few of them prepared to take a detour. However, before they could make a move, the void in front of them split open. A terrifying killing sword pierced the back of the man's heart. "Oh no!" the girl screamed. The pupils of the other two young men also shrank. An assassin! An extremely terrifying assassin. "It's over. That man is dead. Humph, fine. Since he dares to block our way, so be it." Clang! The sword pierced the body of the young man in front of them. However, to everyone's astonishment, the killing sword was actually broken in half. The tremendous force made the little saint retreat frantically. How terrifying! The surrounding people were stunned. The cute girl and her two senior brothers were also stunned. What kind of physique did this man have? Chapter 40-29. Bus. The young man in front did not stop at all. Instead, he turned his hand and pointed a finger. A sword wave shot into the void. Soon, blood flowed down from the void. A corpse fell to the ground with its glabella split open, and its soul destroyed. It was dead. The young man had killed a terrifying assassin with a single strike. This person was too terrifying. The two young men shuddered too. Could it be that the young man really had the strength to kill a little saint? Damn it! How could there be another terrifying monster in the world? They were very glad that they listened to their junior sister and did not act rashly. Otherwise, they might be the ones dead now. Buzz. Buzz. At this moment, figures rushed out from all directions. Each of them was holding a black flag in their hands. They stabbed into the void. The 4 flags formed a spatial barrier, sealing the young man inside. Kill. This was the terrifying black killing flag that could destroy everything. It's over. This time, the young man is dead for sure. This was what everyone thought. Even the girl was frightened. No one could survive being shrouded in such a terrifying domain of black sand. However, there, in the terrifying slaughter domain, a figure appeared. He did not receive any injuries at all. The murderous aura attacks landed on his body, producing earth-shattering sounds. As for the young man, with a wave of his hand, he broke the 2 black flags. Then he rushed out and slapped the 2 assassins into a mist of blood. In addition, he swept out his leg and sent the other 2 flying while vomiting blood. The 2 assassins wanted to run away, but they were shattered by 2 golden eyes. Blood flowed out of their 7 orifices, and they fell to the ground. In an instant, the hearts and souls of the 4 assassins were destroyed. This young man was too strong. That's right, who is he? The surrounding people were all stunned. Was he a hidden genius from some sacred ground? He might not be a genius. He could be an old monster who had lived for countless years. The crowd discussed animatedly. The cute girl and the other 2 young men were also shocked. Buzz. Buzz. However, the killing did not stop. It continued. After the death of the assassins, a terrifying aura filled the air again. There was even a terrifying voice that said, "Lin Wudi, you will die today." What? Lin Wudi. Heavens, he was actually the legendary Lin Wudi. The surrounding people screamed crazily. Now they finally understood why the other party was so powerful. It turned out that the other party was the legendary terrifying Demon King. Most likely, there was someone else who could kill so many terrifying killing saints with just a wave of his hand. At the same time, those people were also alarmed. Who were these assassins? Why did they want to kill Lin Wudi? Lin Xian frowned. After he separated from Wuxia, he came to this city. Originally, he thought that leaving Wuxia would save him a lot of trouble. Who would have thought that he would be targeted by this group of assassins again? Since that was the case, the muscles and bones on his face changed, restoring his original appearance. Are you people of the human world? He thought for a moment and realized that only a terrorist organization like the human world would be able to find him. You are a man who must die. Today, we will enforce justice on behalf of the heavens. A cold voice rang out from the void. Immediately after, 6 killing saints appeared around him. Among them, there were even 2 small saints. They were abnormally terrifying. In addition to the leader, there were 3 small saints. It was simply a sure-kill situation. It was over. Lin Wudi was in danger. Yes, he should have come for Morong Qingcheng. He didn't expect that before he could see Morong Qingcheng, he would die at the hands of the human world. With such a lineup, even Lin Wudi wouldn't be able to withstand it. The cute girl's eyes flickered. She clenched her fists. So this was the legendary Great Demon King. She didn't know if he could withstand it. He should be able to. After all, he seemed to have killed a small saint before. With just you guys? Lin Xian stood there and looked around. There was a hint of disdain in his eyes. The current him was no longer the him from a year ago. Therefore, his strength had undergone an earth-shattering change. Seeing Lin Xian's disdainful attitude, the people around him felt their scalps go numb. God, is he looking down on the human world? Does this kid think that he doesn't have a long life? Attack. The order came from the sky, and the 6 killing saints attacked frantically. Among them, there were 2 small saints and 4 saints in the late 5th heaven. Their strength was unparalleled. As soon as the order fell, a killing sword pressed down from the sky at an extremely fast speed. Even Lin Xian was shocked by the speed. It seemed that the opponent should have cultivated a kind of speed law. He knew that he couldn't dodge it, so he took it head-on. He threw out a palm and collided with the opponent's sword chi. With a clang, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. His arm went numb, and the long sword was directly broken. Buzz. Buzz. At the same time, several other terrifying attacks came over. They were all filled with unparalleled killing intent. Lin Xian's figure swayed and dodged these attacks. His nerves became incomparably solemn. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish today. Kill. The 6 sacred exterminators snapped coldly and charged forward once again. In an instant, the terrifying attacks and the law that filled the sky annihilated everything in front of them. A sword soared through the sky like a divine mountain. It was filled with boundless strength as it slashed down from the sky. On the other side, the sword light that filled the sky turned into lightning and shrouded the area. Behind Lin Xian, there were 2 figures that came to his side in a strange manner. They were less than a meter away from him. The 6 of them attacked with a fatal blow. They didn't give Lin Xian a chance to live at all. It's over. This time, it's really over. The surrounding people saw this scene and closed their eyes. I'm afraid that the genius of the generation is going to fall today. Boom. Lin Xian roared angrily. He released his divine body and swept in all directions. Those attacks were all blown away by him. At the same time, his feet were like dragons, and his hands were like knives. He opened and closed them, and fought with these people. The 4 late fifth heaven assassins were instantly sent flying. Their bodies were broken, and they vomited large mouthfuls of blood. In just an instant, they were seriously injured and almost died. If it weren't for the 2 minor saints on their side, they would have been dead. Lin Xian wanted to chase after them, but he was stopped by the 2 minor saints, courting death. The strength of these 2 minor saints was very terrifying. One of them was holding a knife, and the other was holding a sword. Both of them looked cold. The shiny long saber cut through the 9 heavens and blocked Lin Xian's path. On the other side, the terrifying earthly fiend sword stabbed at Lin Xian's glabella. Lin Wudi, you're going to die this time. The 2 minor saints attacked. You're too inexperienced. It seems that your intelligence is not very good. Lin Xian laughed and stretched out his hands. Chapter 40-30. Boom. After the attack, Lin Xian was knocked back. However, he was not injured at all. How was this possible? He could fight 2 saints at the same time. How long had it been? Had his strength become even more terrifying? The surrounding people were all stunned. The faces of the people in the mortal world also became extremely ugly. The change in the opponent's strength was beyond their imagination. Attack! With another roar, 2 minor saints rushed over. The 4 late-stage 5th heaven saint slayers combined with the formation from a distance and attacked quickly. Lin Xian appeared and disappeared unpredictably. He conjured a Tai Chi diagram to block the attack. The killing blade in the sky was blocked by him. Moreover, the Tai Chi diagram rotated and restrained one of the minor saints. At the same time, he pushed out his right hand. The 5 elements sword. His arm was surrounded by the terrifying 5 elements sword law, and he slashed in all directions. The 5 elements sword law contained the 5 elements sword law. It was unpredictable and powerful. The second minor saint was forced to retreat. Not only that, but the bodies of the 4 fifth heaven late stage saints were also penetrated in an instant. They all fell from the sky, dead as could be. Damn it! The third minor saint roared when he saw this scene. Lin Xian, go to hell! He roared and rushed down from the sky. A long spear appeared in his hand. The killing intent on it was incomparable. It seemed that he wanted to pierce through Lin Xian's head with the spear. Get lost! Lin Xian restrained the 2 minor saints with both hands. At the same time, his right leg kicked upward. There was a loud crash. His right leg collided with the opponent's long spear, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. The people around were all sent flying by the force. Boom, boom, boom. The earth-shattering collision sounded, and the long spear in the opponent's hand directly collapsed. The minor saint's pupils constricted. How is this possible? How can he still fight back? It's unbelievable. Die. However, the leader was obviously an expert. After the long spear collapsed, he did not retreat. Instead, he charged forward again. His palm became incomparably red, as if it could drip blood. This was an extremely frightening palm. With a single slap, it could refine all the blood on the body of a sage. It could be said to be extremely terrifying. Sure enough, when the palm strike struck out, the spectators felt as if their blood was about to be refined. They frantically retreated. Lin Xian faced this attack head-on. There was no way he could retreat. The 2 killer saints beside him were also doing their best to pin him down. Suddenly, Lin Xian opened his mouth and spat out a beam of sword qi. It was a dragon-shaped sword qi that shone with incomparable light. As soon as it appeared, it let out a loud dragon roar. Boom, boom. The sword qi of the dragon roar pierced through the blood-red palm. The Saint of Slaughter retreated. His entire arm had been cleaved apart. Not only that, his body was also pierced through. For the time being, it was impossible for the wound to heal. Blood flowed out, driving him crazy. Damn it. He had been careless. Who would have thought that the other party would still have such a terrifying method, even when he was besieged by 3 assassins? Thinking of this, he quickly retreated. The surrounding people were also stunned. 1 against 3, but he was not at a disadvantage. Moreover, he could even injure a Saint of Slaughter. Was this Lin Wudi? He had become even more terrifying than a year ago. After succeeding in 1 strike, Lin Xian attacked again. A lot of sword qi rushed out of his body, blooming with a terrifying aura. They slashed in all directions. Lin Xian fought against 3 minor saints alone. The battle was earth-shattering. He had a divine body, so his physique was very strong. Kill his soul. The 3 Saint of Slaughter in the mortal world obviously knew Lin Xian well. They knew that Lin Xian's physique was very strong, so they changed their strategy. They respectfully requested the Sword of Soul Slaying. The 3 of them formed a seal with their palms and became extremely sincere. Their glabella split open and blood dripped out. At the same time, a transparent sword chi rushed out of their glabella with an extremely terrifying aura. The Sword of Soul Slaying specialized in killing souls. The crowd screamed. The means of the mortal world were really too terrifying. The Sword of Soul could kill people without leaving a trace. 3 swords of soul slaying rushed out from the 3 of them. The 3 of them formed a triangle and attacked together, completely engulfing Lin Xian. Lin Xian sneered. You really don't know what's good for you. With a roar, the great dragon sword spirit rushed out, turned into a dragon shadow, and slashed in all directions. So what if the other party had the Sword of Soul Slaying? The great Tao danced between heaven and earth. A sonorous sound rang out, and the Sword of Soul Slaying disappeared. The 3 Saint of Slaughter were also stunned. Lin Xian withdrew the dragon-shaped sword shadow and snorted coldly. He walked forward with his hands behind his back. What's going on? Is the battle over? The surrounding people were stunned. They did not know what was going on at all. Soul attacks were strange and unpredictable. Often, the outcome could be determined in the blink of an eye. Now, it seemed that Lin Wuti had won. It shouldn't be. These 3 Saint of Slaughter should still have the strength to fight. They are 3 minor saints. At this time they screamed in horror. It turned out that the glabella of the 3 Saint of Slaughter had completely split open, and they fell on their backs. There was no sign of life on their bodies. Are they dead? These people were stunned. In an instant, Lin Xian killed 3 minor saints. This method was simply heaven-defying. They looked at the back of the departing figure with horror in their hearts. Who can stop the rise of this young man? Lin Xian strode away. His expression was incomparably cold. The current situation was very bad. He did not expect that the people of the mortal world would also come. This group of killers is simply crazy. I really have to be careful in the future. He continued to walk toward the depths of the city. He wanted to inquire about the whereabouts of Murong Qingcheng. However, before he reached the depths of the city, exclamations broke out. A formation flickered, and more than a dozen figures rushed out. Oh no! Something big has happened. Murong Qingcheng is in danger. It is very likely that she is going to die. The people in the city were instantly stunned. What's going on? Did Jianchen make a move? Has Jianchen become so powerful? That shouldn't be the case. Before, Jia Ningqing had been slaughtered by Murong Qingcheng, and he was scared witless. Who did it? Could it be those terrifying sword saints of the Myriad Sword Pavilion? Lin Xian's expression changed. He turned into a stream of light, and instantly came in front of a person. He grabbed the person with one hand. Tell me, who is it? The person's body was almost torn apart. He screamed in horror. What are you doing? Lin Xian let go of his hand and said, I want to know the news. The person originally wanted to be angry, but when he saw Lin Xian's expression and felt the terrifying murderous aura from Lin Xian's body, he changed his mind. Immediately he said something about his neck. Heading north, in the Yunmeng Grand Canyon 70,000 miles away, Murong Qingcheng was besieged by the experts of the Golden Crow clan. What? It's the Golden Crow clan. That group of lunatics. I heard that Lin Wuti killed the 7th prince of the Golden Crow clan. The Golden Crow clan chased after Lin Wuti to no avail. Now they should be attacking the people around Lin Wuti. Chapter 40-31. Lin Xian tore the void apart. Golden Crow clan, since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. He turned into a giant dragon, roaring between heaven and earth, and instantly disappeared from the city. Let's go and take a look. The surrounding people also knew that something big was about to happen, so they quickly followed. However, they couldn't keep up. Lin Xian was going all out at this moment. Although 70,000 miles was a long distance, he could reach it in the shortest time. Dreamcloud Valley. At this moment, the battle was abnormally terrifying. All kinds of divine abilities and laws were collapsing between heaven and earth. There was no one in that place. The spectators were all watching from afar, holding up their saint domains to watch the battle. It's over. Morom Qingqing is really in danger this time. Yes, of all the people she knew, she just had to have a good relationship with Lin Wuti. This time, she was in deep trouble. Originally, she thought that she could kill Jianqin. Unexpectedly, Jianqin was still alive, but Morom Qingqing was in danger of dying. This time, other than the Golden Crow clan, the experts of the Peacock clan also came, and they brought a terrifying saint tool. Freeze Morom Qingqing. Otherwise, Morom Qingqing could escape even if she couldn't defeat them. You are no match for us at all. If you obediently surrender, you might be able to suffer a little less. A few golden crows roared between heaven and earth. The flames on their bodies burned the heaven and earth. On the other side, there were a few experts of the Peacock clan. One of them formed a seal with his palm. He controlled a 5-colored sacred mountain in the sky, shooting down a 5-colored light, directly freezing the void. Morom Qingqing was imprisoned by this power, so she couldn't escape. At this moment, a phoenix phantom circled around her body, blocking the attack. To be honest, if it were other people, they would have been killed long ago. However, Morom Qingqing's bloodline was strong, so she could block the attacks of so many experts. Even so, she was still in danger, because there were too many experts this time. None of them were weak. They were all small saints. Why are you talking nonsense with him? Hurry up and capture him. The peacock expert in the sky said coldly. Capture him and force that brat to come here. I'm going to tear that Lin Wuti to shreds. Alright, then let the battle end. The golden crows once again displayed their powerful aura. This time, they wanted to capture the other party completely. Morom Qingqing was in extreme danger. Her beautiful face was stained with blood, but her beautiful eyes were incomparably resolute. Do you think you can catch me? Her hands continued to form seals as various laws flew out from her fingertips. She had a pair of jade-like hands, and in her left hand was a lake with a mysterious aura. This was the Jade Lake Phantom. In her right hand, tens of thousands of mountains revolved around it. That was the Phantom of Kunlun. Morom Qingqing could actually conjure the Jade Lake in Kunlun, which was really shocking. Even the golden crows' faces changed. No, they had to act quickly. They roared madly. It rushed down with monstrous flames. At this moment, a roar came from afar. Daring to touch my woman, I'll destroy his soul in the 9 heavens and 10 lands. This voice was like thunder. The sky fell and the earth cracked. At first, it was still far away, but in the next moment, countless people saw a figure tear through the 9 heavens and instantly arrive nearby. Heavens, someone is coming. It's Lin Wuti. Is he coming to save Morom Qingqing? Everyone was stunned. The experts of the peacock race and the golden crow race in front were also stunned. When they sensed the other party, the corners of their mouths raised into a sneer. You're finally here. Kid, today is the day you die. Bus. Lin Xian's body shone with a monstrous light. Like a god of war, he tore through the void and arrived nearby. When he saw Morom Qingqing's body covered in blood and injuries, he was instantly enraged. All of you deserve to die. The killing intent in his eyes surged out like a tide. You don't have the right. The one who will die today is you. The peacock race laughed sinisterly. With a wave of his hand, the 5-colored sacred mountain bloomed with light and rushed towards Lin Xian. Not good. Brother Xian, be careful. This is a fixed treasure that can restrict movement. As expected, Lin Xian felt a huge pressure surging towards him. In an instant, the place where he was seemed to be fixed. He couldn't move at all. This wasn't the first time Lin Xian saw such a scene. Previously, he encountered the mind fixation pearl that could make it difficult for him to move. However, the power of this mountain was much more terrifying than the mind fixation pearl. Lin Xian roared. His divine body struggled, but he still felt as if he was pulled into a quagmire. His movements were slow. Kid, it's useless. This is the Qingquan mountain. A small saint can't break free after entering. Therefore, you will definitely die today. Don't worry, I will let you and your woman accompany on the road to the Yellow Springs. The peacock race sneered. The golden crow race also snorted. I will definitely not let you die easily. Two Golden Crow small saints instantly pounced over Brother Xian. Morong Qingqing wanted to make a move as well, but she was held back by the others. Lin Xian sneered. Looking at the two small saints, his smile was very bright. I don't have any more Golden Crow meat in my storage. Today, I will kill you to fill my rations. The two Golden Crows were completely infuriated. They had long heard that the other party ate the Golden Crow meat. How dare he eat them? He would tear the other party's mouth apart. He would break every bone in the other party's body. He would let the other party die in the most miserable way. When the two of them approached, Lin Xian opened his mouth and spat out two dragon-shaped sword qi, chopping off their heads. Puff. Blood spurted out and screams sounded. The two small saints frantically retreated. Damn it, they were really shocked. Didn't he already restrict the other party? Why was the other party still able to attack? Was he so strong? The onlookers in the distance were also dumbfounded. Morong Qingqing heaved a sigh of relief. That's great. Brother Xian, let's work together. Speaking until here, she threw out the Jade Lake Phantom in her hand. The Jade Lake water surged. Although it was just a phantom, it was incomparably terrifying. The Golden Crows soared into the sky and flapped their wings, striking out monstrous Golden Crow flames to fight against the phantom. On the other side, Morong Qingqing threw out the Kunlun Phantom, smashing it towards the experts of the peacock race. The experts of the peacock race also felt the powerful aura of the phantom. They didn't dare to fight it head-on, and could only move quickly. However, the Kunlun Phantom was too terrifying. One mountain turned into thousands of mountains. It chased after them and pressed down, courting death. The five-colored divine light washed everything. They struck out the five-colored divine light, forming a terrifying net to block it. On the other side, Lin Xian roared. He pushed his divine body to the extreme. Monstrous light and sword qi burst out. He wanted to shake the Qianquan mountain. The Qianquan mountain shook violently as if it was really going to fly out. Not good. The experts of the peacock race saw this scene and roared crazily. Fellow Taoist Golden Crows, are you still going to hide? These two were extremely terrifying geniuses. If they held back, they might really go against the heavens. Chapter 40-32. Alright, use the Qianquan mountain to seal that brat, and it'll block this woman. One of the Golden Crows said coldly. As he spoke, he stretched out his hand and a vine quickly grew out of his palm. It was a golden vine, and the flames on it were extremely terrifying. The moment it appeared, even the peacock tribe was shocked. The Golden Crow fire vine. You guys actually brought this thing with you. The spectators in the distance retreated again. Oh heavens, the Golden Crow fire vine was also a terrifying sacred artifact. It was rumored that it was a supreme plant that existed in the sun. It was the plant that the Golden Crows used to live in all year round. The flames on it were extremely terrifying and could burn everything. The power of the Golden Crow fire vine was no weaker than the Qianquan mountain. This time, it was probably going to be dangerous. The Golden Crow fire vine covered the sky and extended toward Morong Qingqing. Morong Qingqing felt a great sense of danger. She used the Jade Lake Phantom to block it. At the same time, the seven-colored phoenix kept roaring and engulfing everything. However, the six Golden Crows in the sky formed a terrifying Golden Crow Phantom and joined forces to form a primordial gold to fight against the phoenix. It blocked Morong Qingqing's bloodline. Useless girl, although your bloodline is powerful, the six of us together are enough to stop you. The flaming vine split into two parts. One part entangled the Jade Lake Phantom. The other part charged toward Morong Qingqing. If it enveloped Morong Qingqing, this peerless beauty would probably be burned to ashes. Morong Qingqing could only summon the Kunlun Mountain Phantom to block it. In this way, no one would disturb the Peacock tribe. The two Peacock tribe elites joined forces to control the Qianquan Mountain. Die brat! The terrifying Qianquan Mountain became terrifying again. Lin Xian felt an even more terrifying pressure gushing over. Instantly, his body was shaken and he was pushed back. Puff. He spat out blood and dyed the void red. Useless brat, no matter how strong you are, you won't be able to break free from the Qianquan Mountain today. The terrifying Qianquan Mountain suppressed everything. The expert from the peacock race snorted coldly. Someone came and beheaded him. A little saint of the peacock race pulled out a long saber. The five-colored light on the saber swept across. On the other side, the powerhouses of the Golden Crow tribe also brought flames that filled the sky, wanting to refine Lin Xian. Lin Xian roared as he struck out with the Taiji diagram to resist the Qianquan mountain. At the same time, he brandished his fist and struck out with sword qi to resist the five-element saber light and the terrifying flames. Boom! Boom! The sound of an intense collision rang out. To think that he could still resist. Another minor saint rushed over and took control of the situation as well. The Qianquan mountain turned into endless rays of light and suppressed Lin Xian rapidly. From the looks of it, they wanted to seal Lin Xian completely this time. Lin Xian coldly snorted. The image of a dragon appeared on his body, carrying a terrifying aura as it continuously attacked. The terrifying dragon shadow blocked the sealing power brought by the Qianquan mountain. How could this be? The elders of the peacock race were stunned. The other party was actually able to block it. The power of the Qianquan mountain was truly unbelievable. One should know how terrifying the Qianquan mountain was. It could easily seal a little saint. However, it couldn't seal a fifth heaven saint. Lin Xian blocked the Qianquan mountain with the great dragon sword soul. At the same time, the death demonic saber was formed in his left hand and slashed out. It collided with the five-colored saber light. When the two collided, the death demonic qi directly shrouded the peacock race powerhouse. It deprived the powerhouse of his vitality. No. The powerhouse was scared out of his wits and quickly retreated. In an instant his body caved in. On the other side, Lin Xian activated the sun sword again and slashed out. He spread out the flames that filled the sky and sliced a little saint of the Golden Crow clan in half with a single slash. At this moment, whether it was the Golden Crow tribe, the peacock race, or the people who were watching the battle from afar, they were all stunned. Lin Wudi was too strong. He could still counterattack after being suppressed by the Qianquan mountain, and successfully injure two little saints. Damn it! The powerhouses of the peacock race shouted angrily. The three little saints worked together to control the Qianquan fan, causing the Qianquan mountain to press down. This time it wasn't just the light. The body of the Qianquan mountain was incomparable. Let's see how the other party is going to die. Lin Xian also felt a great sense of danger. The dragon soul's aura wrapped around his hands and combined with his divine body. 9 suns opened the sky. He struck out with both palms and fiercely slapped forward. Clang! A deafening sound rang out. Come on! He resisted the Qianquan mountain, causing it to be unable to descend. Everyone was stunned by this scene. Especially the powerhouses of the peacock race. They were simply going crazy. Damn it! What did he do? He actually blocked it. How did he do it? Lin Xian snorted coldly. He opened his mouth and spat out a dragon-shaped sword qi. It rushed towards the Qianquan mountain and the three little saints. The three little saints knew how powerful the sword qi was, so they worked together to resist it. At the same time, Lin Xian's feet were like a dragon, constantly moving forward. He attacked the powerhouses of the Golden Crow race. The powerhouses of the Golden Crow race used their flames to resist. However, they were still sent flying by a kick, vomiting large mouthfuls of blood. He was too powerful. Lin Xian was attacked by so many powerhouses, but he could still counterattack so powerfully. Damn it! The powerhouses of the Golden Crow race were finally angry. So many of them couldn't take down a young man, which really made them lose face. Kill. They attacked crazily. On the other side, the flames and terrifying vines kept attacking Morong Qingcheng. However, the two phantoms of Morong Qingcheng were too terrifying. They blocked the flames of the Golden Crow race. At the same time, the phoenix bloodline in her body kept erupting. Phoenix dance in the 9 heavens. A 7-colored phoenix rotated between heaven and earth, swooping down and sending 2 powerhouses of the Golden Crow race flying. Kunlun 9 slashes. The phantoms of the phoenix turned into 9 green light blades and slashed down. Each attack was stronger than the previous one. In an instant, many people were injured and vomited blood, flying backward. Damn it! The people of the Golden Crow race were about to go crazy. After fighting for so long, not only were they unable to take down Lin Wudi, but they couldn't even subdue Morong Qingcheng. Suppress. Morong Qingcheng waved her hands, fusing the Jade Pool Phantom and Kunlun Phantom together, suppressing the Golden Crow Fire Vine. The Golden Crow Fire Vine was such a powerful treasure, but it was suppressed in an instant. It was enveloped by these two phantoms and could not escape at all. When the surrounding people saw this scene, they were all stunned. This Morong Qingcheng was too terrifying. Yes, she actually had such a method. Lin Xian also smiled when he saw this scene. Very good. It seemed that it was time to counterattack. He roared and shot out endless dragon-shaped sword energy, which turned into a dragon head and bit the Qiankuan mountain. And he used this opportunity to directly blast away the restraint of the Qiankuan mountain. He blasted everything with a punch and charged out. Boom. After coming out, he slapped out and slapped a peacock in half. On the other side, his eyes emitted a biting cold light, and he smashed a powerhouse of the Golden Crow race into pieces. Chapter 40-33. How dare you join forces with me? All of you will die here today. Lin Xian charged over. The solar sword swung wildly, and the death demonic saber slashed through everything. With a slash, a minor saint's head was cut open. Not only that, the headless body was enveloped by the law of death, instantly depriving it of its vitality. The soul wanted to escape, but it was destroyed by the saber. On the other side, Lin Xian used the solar sword to cut open a minor saint of the Golden Crow clan. In the blink of an eye, 2 minor saints fell, which made everyone go crazy. What kind of combat strength was that? Late stage 5th firmament. Damn it, he broke through again. How did he do it? If they remembered correctly, he should have been at the mid-stage 5th firmament when he came out of planet Tianming. It had only been a few years, but he had reached the late-stage 5th firmament. One had to know that ordinary saints couldn't reach this level without hundreds of years. Those who were watching the battle from afar were also shocked. Lin Xian killed 2 minor saints in a row, and his momentum was extremely strong. He stared at the rest of the people. Today none of you will be able to escape. Damn it. The people of the Peacock clan were so angry that they vomited blood. They frantically mobilized Qiankuan Mountain, but they found that it was bitten by the dragon head. For a moment, there was no way to escape. Humph. Without Qiankuan Mountain, I can still kill you. Let's join forces and kill him. Many people rushed over crazily. Lin Xian used all kinds of laws to fight. On the other side, Morong Qingcheng was also fighting with the experts of the Golden Crow clan. The front was completely destroyed. At this moment, dozens of sword lights streaked across the sky, tearing everything apart. Moreover, they fell towards Lin Xian and Morong Qingcheng. Oh no, what a terrifying law of sword. It was the people of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. The 10,000 Swords Pavilion had mobilized dozens of sword saints. Those people were terrified. This is a sure kill. Oh no, hurry up and attack. Lin Xian didn't expect the 10,000 Swords Pavilion to be so despicable. This was beyond their range of resistance. In the sky, a pitch-black palm slapped down. A pitch-black finger fell. It completely enveloped the sword chi. Boom. Boom. The momentum was earth-shattering. What a terrifying demonic aura. What was this? Someone else had joined the battle? Kill them all. Leave no one alive. Lin Xian's voice was ice-cold. The 2 devil saints in the sky made their moves and fought with the sword saints in a frenzy. In an instant, 5 sword saints were torn to shreds. All sorts of miserable cries and howls could be heard. How could there be such a terrifying person? Those sword saints screamed crazily. Damn it, you can't do this. We're from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Despicable. Humph. You still have the face to call me despicable and shameless? Today, none of them should even think about leaving alive. Lin Xian roared. A chaotic battle broke out. Humph, the one who will die today is you. A sword shadow transformed into a handsome young man. With the starry sky sword on his back, he was extremely powerful. Jianchen had finally arrived. In an instant, Jianchen stared at Lin Xian with cold killing intent in his eyes. Lin Xian also saw the other party and waved his hand. Come over and accept your death. As he spoke, he crippled a minor saint with a slash of his sword. Seeing this scene, Jianchen's pupils shrank. Damn it, the other party had not become a minor saint, but his strength was enough to make him shudder. Flynn Woody, someone will come after you. Today you can't escape even if you have wings. I'm going to deal with your woman. I'll let you see with your own eyes that your woman dies in front of you. This is the consequence of provoking me. Jianchen revealed a hideous smile and looked at Morong Qingcheng. Do you dare to fight with me? Are you an idiot? Morong Qingcheng snorted coldly. How dare he ask such a question? I've been chasing you all the way, and you're not my opponent at all. How dare you provoke me now? Damn it, I pretended to be defeated just to lure Lin Wudy out. Do you really think I can't defeat you? Jianchen was furious. His starry sky sword bloomed with light as if the starry sky of the universe was falling down. Its power was really strong. His strength had increased. So he had been hiding it. But so what? Kunlun 9 slashes. The terrifying ultimate technique of Kunlun flew out, and there were phoenixes breaking the universe between heaven and earth. The two of them fought fiercely. The people in the distance were stunned. The shocking chaotic battle, and the duel of the two top geniuses. They actually erupted at the same time. Not long after, Jianchen frowned. He thought that Morong Qingcheng's strength would be greatly reduced after such a long battle and her injuries. He, on the other hand, had hidden his strength, so he could easily kill her. However, he didn't expect that after exchanging dozens of blows, he couldn't suppress her at all. Instead, he might be defeated again. Damn it. He wanted to mobilize the elders of the Myriad Sword Pavilion to kill her, but he found that more than 30 elders were beaten miserably at this moment. The two devil saints were too strong, especially the late minor saint. His fingers seemed to be able to pierce the sky. Lin Xian next to him was even stronger. The experts of the Peacock race and the Golden Crow race couldn't defeat him even if they joined forces. Not only that, they were beaten miserably. Lin Xian was like the Golden God of War or the Grim Reaper of Hell, constantly reaping the lives of his enemies. Those minor saints were nothing in his hands. At this moment, the number of minor saints who died in his hands had reached 8. It was simply earth-shattering. No. Damn it. How dare you kill us? The Peacock race won't let you go. There weren't many people from the Peacock race. They thought that the arrival of the Qianquan mountain could suppress everything. So they didn't send many people. However, at this moment, only 2 of them were left. The 2 minor saints screamed crazily. They found that without the Qianquan mountain, they couldn't defeat Lin Xian even if they joined forces. Lin Xian sneered. Do you think it's useful to threaten me now? He cut one of them in half with a slash of his sword. Damn it. The last minor saint screamed crazily. He slapped the blood of his companion on the Qianquan mountain. At the same time, he asked the old ancestor to help him. Buzz the Qianquan mountain was stained with blood. The 5-colored divine light on it suddenly bloomed. It broke the restraint of the great dragon sword soul. At the same time, it bloomed with incomparable light and smashed toward Lin Xian. Not good. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. The others were also in an uproar. The void in that place was shattered. At this moment, 5 fingers flew over. One after another, they bombarded the Qianquan mountain. The 5 fingers were shattered, and the Qianquan mountain was also blocked. The next moment, the Qianquan mountain broke through the void and left. It was so dangerous. In the void, the arm of the late minor saint expert of the heavenly devil race was broken, and his flesh was badly mutilated. His face became incomparably solemn. Fortunately, it was only a soul mark attached to it. Otherwise, it would be really dangerous this time. Humph. I'll kill the people of the Peacock race every time I see them. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The others felt their scalps go numb. The Peacock race was so powerful, but in the end, only one of them could leave alive. Chapter 40-34. Who would have thought of this before? On the other side, the people from the Golden Crow tribe also felt their scalps go numb. Only 4 of them were left. At this moment, Lin Xian had freed himself up to deal with them. Would they be able to resist him? Not good. When Jianchen saw Lin Xian, he was afraid that no one could suppress him, so he immediately pulled away. He said, "Wait." Everyone was stunned. Morong Qingcheng also snorted coldly. What tricks are you trying to play now? Jianchen said. The scene today is too chaotic for us to fight. Let's fight to the death another day. It looked like he wanted to leave. Everyone was stunned. Was this still the sword genius who was flaunting his strength before? Murong Qingcheng also snorted coldly. Come and go as you wish. The Kunlun 9 slashes is even more terrifying. At the same time, she shot out the phoenix light. Jianchen could only passively block. He said, "Why you don't dare?" Lin Xian snorted coldly. "There's nothing to say to a despicable person like you. I'll leave you here today." He also slashed out a deathly blade light, and the sword light below quickly left. "Damn Lin Wudi, do you want to join forces? It's an unfair victory." Lin Xian laughed. "You brought more than 30 sword saints to kill us, and you say that we have an unfair victory? Where's your face? Are all the people cultivated by the 10,000 Swords Pavilion such despicable and shameless people? Damn it." The people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion also frantically retreated and began to protect their chief disciple. Jianchen's expression was cold again. "I said that today is not suitable for battle. 10 days later, Murong Qingcheng and I will fight to the death in the arena. Do you dare?" "You said it nicely. Now that you can't beat us, you want to leave. What if you escape 10 days later?" Lin Xian sneered. He did not want to let Jianchen go. "Damn it, why would I escape? I've already forced Jianchen into a corner for the 10,000 Swords Pavilion's reputation. If they continued to fight, he might really die today. And it was very likely that he would be killed by Lin Xian. There's no need for 10 days. Let's do it here. Just the two of us. I'll give you a handicap of 1 hand," Lin Xian said. Jianchen harumphed coldly. "You're not even a little saint. You're not even qualified to fight me. I'll only fight Murong Qingcheng." "Murong Qingcheng, you don't dare?" Qingcheng, there was no need to waste words with him. Murong Qingcheng nodded. "That's what I thought too. How much did she walk up?" At this moment, another cold shout rang out. Then, a black figure in battle armor descended from the sky. He brought with him an endless aura of desolation, causing the surrounding plants to instantly wither. The people from the great desolate mansion were terrifying. "Tianya, isn't that Yu Quan? He actually came as well." Everyone cried out. Sure enough, the people who descended from the sky were from the great desolation mansion, and the one leading them was Yu Quan. His feet trampled the 8 desolates, standing above everyone else. The people on the holy pilgrimage list were extremely terrifying even among little saints, and were qualified to look down on everyone. The arrival of Yu Quan made Murong Qingcheng stop in her tracks. Lin Xian also frowned. "What's wrong? You want to interfere too?" Yu Quan's cold gaze shrouded Lin Xian, and the killing intent in his eyes was undisguised. He didn't attack but said, "I think Jianchen's suggestion is very good. Today's battle is very chaotic, and it's not suitable for a holy death duel. I think it's a good idea to start the holy death arena 10 days later." Hearing Yu Quan's support, Jianchen's lips curled into a smile, and he looked at Lin Xian provocatively. Lin Xian frowned. He didn't expect Yu Quan to come at the last moment. To be honest, although he had defeated Yu Quan before, Yu Quan had suppressed his cultivation base at that time. Now Jianchen was a true little saint. In addition to the opportunities he had obtained on Heavenly Fate Planet, he could be said to be an extremely powerful little saint. It seemed like Jianchen had brought a lot of experts from the Great Desolation Mansion. If he interfered at this time, he might really be able to change the situation. Humph. Lin Xian harumphed. "You want to delay for 10 days? Sure, I'll let you live for another 10 days. 10 days later, I'll let Qingqing kill you. However, there's an additional condition. Do you dare to have another holy death duel?" Lin Xian pointed his sword at Yu Quan. "You've been wanting to kill me for a long time, right? I also want to kill you. Why don't we have another holy death duel 10 days later?" As soon as these words came out, everyone was in an uproar. Even the eyelids of those little saints twitched wildly. Yu Quan's face was incomparably cold. To be honest, he really wanted to kill Jianchen. However, he wasn't in a hurry. Jianchen's cultivation base was much lower than his. Since he dared to provoke him like this, it was obviously a trap. Therefore Yu Quan harumphed coldly. "You're not even a little saint. You're not worthy of my attack. You don't dare, right?" Lin Xian sneered. The surrounding people were also stunned. They didn't think that Yu Quan would really refuse. Could it be that he was really afraid of Lin Xian? They had heard that he had been defeated by Lin Wudi before. No way. Is Lin Wudi going to be on the pilgrim list? Many discussions broke out. Yu Quan roared, and the power of desolation became even more terrifying. No one dared to say anything. Yu Quan looked at Lin Xian. Kid, are you in such a hurry to die? But you're not qualified. It's not that I don't dare, but you're not worthy. When you become a little saint, I'll be the first to come and kill you. Now you're not qualified to make me attack. As a genius on the pilgrim list, he had his own pride. Even if Jian Chen was a genius, he wasn't worthy of his attack if he hadn't reached the little saint realm. Fine. When I become a little saint, I'll be the first to kill you. Lin Xian harumphed coldly. Then he looked at the people of the Golden Crow clan. The Tai Chi diagram suddenly shot out, turning into a yin and yang light beam, directly cutting off the heads of the three people. At the same time, the dragon sword spirit unleashed a dragon-shaped sword chi, instantly killing the souls of the three people. Between heaven and earth, the roar of a dragon resounded, and miserable screams rang out, shocking everyone. Yu Quan was also angry. Damn it. I said stop. Didn't you hear me? Do you really want me to kill you? He really didn't expect that Jian Chen would dare to kill 3 more experts of the Golden Crow clan in front of him. What does it have to do with you that I'm killing the people of the Golden Crow clan? Do you want me to attack now? Lin Xian didn't hold back. He harumphed coldly and stared at the last expert of the Golden Crow clan. He said, I'm sparing you not because I don't dare to kill you, but because you're very lucky. Go back and tell me that your Golden Crow clan has a 7th prince. Does that mean there are 6 princes before you? Let one of them come. 10 days later, I'll have a life and death battle with him. Of course, if he doesn't dare to come, I'll spare his life. Now get lost. Lin Xian unleashed a tornado and swept the opponent away. The surrounding people were stunned. Heavens, Lin Xian is going to have a life and death battle with the crown prince of the Golden Crow clan again. Even Yu Quan was stunned by this scene. He's really arrogant. The others felt their scalps go numb. The Golden Crow clan and the Peacock clan had attacked with great force, but in the end, the 2 clans were completely annihilated. In the end, only 2 people managed to escape. If it weren't for Yu Quan's arrival, Jian Chen would have died here today. Even so, Jian Chen's side didn't have a good time. Not to mention that he was suppressed to the point where he couldn't raise his head. He could only fight another day. Of the more than 30 little saints of the Myriad Swords Pavilion, more than 20 had died at this moment. In the end, only 5 people were left. It could be said that this was a huge loss. Chapter 40-35. Just like that, the battle came to an end. Everyone knew that this wasn't the final result, because there were still 2 more battles to the death in 10 days. At that time, it would probably be even more intense. In just 10 days, the people on Qingshui planet were shocked beyond words. They called for their friends and family. More and more people came to watch the battle in the second astral realm. On the other side, Lin Xian took Morong Qingqing away. Morong Qingqing was injured. She needed to recuperate. On Lin Xian's side, he took out all of his treasures. Young Master Lin, this way please. If you don't mind, you can rest in my residence. A group of people came over and took Lin Xian away. Lin Xian's current strength was too strong. His future was limitless. So many people were prepared to help him. At the very least, they had to make friends with him. It wasn't just Lin Xian. Yu Quan, Jian Chen, and the others were also respectfully invited away by the big families on Qingshui planet. In a huge and majestic residence, Lin Xian and Morong Qingqing sat cross-legged. Lin Xian was treating Morong Qingqing's injuries. There were countless formations around them. After 2 days, Morong Qingqing opened her eyes. Brother Xian, I'm fine. Don't worry. Although I'm injured, my foundation isn't damaged. Your treasures are enough for me to recover. Morong Qingqing's bloodline was very strong. This little injury wasn't much of a threat to him. However, if Lin Xian had come late, it would have been really dangerous. Qingqing, don't worry. I'll take revenge for you. The Golden Crow race, the Peacock race, and the Myriad Sword Pavilion, I won't let them off. Lin Xian's eyes flashed with a cold glint. Although he had killed almost all of the people who had participated in the hunt this time, he was still able to do so. Although he had killed most of them, it was still difficult to calm her anger. In the next few days, the two of them didn't even leave the main hall. They stayed inside. After all, in a few days there would be a great battle. However, on the 5th day, a few terrifying figures suddenly appeared in the mansion. They hid in the void and quickly attacked. Lin Xian's array formation was instantly broken. In an instant, many figures appeared around him. Boom! Lin Xian directly detonated the broken array formations. The rumbling sound instantly transformed into a pillar of light that connected heaven and earth. What's going on? What happened? The people in the mansion were all stunned. Not good, it was where young Master Lin was. The people of this family went crazy. They originally wanted to make friends with Lin Xian, but if something happened to Lin Xian while he was here, they would lose their lives. Most likely, Wushuang City would not let them off. For a moment, they rushed over in a frenzy. But he was thrown back. The energy in front of them was too terrifying. They couldn't get any closer and could only wait. At the same time, Yu Quan, who was hiding in the shadows, saw this scene and his face sank. Damn it, what are these pieces of trash doing? Didn't they say that they were going to kill the other party quietly? It turned out that these people were sent by Yu Quan. Originally, he wanted to secretly kill these two people, but now the commotion was so big. Forget it, so what if it caused a huge commotion? As long as he could kill these two people, it would be fine. But soon his expression changed, because he saw a few figures fly out, coughing up large mouthfuls of blood. Some of their bodies were shattered and turned into a bloody mist. Damn it, they were his people. Why were his people injured after the explosion? Where were the other party? In the next moment he saw two figures standing there. Lin Wudi, the two of them were actually not dead. Yu Quan was really stunned in the dark. On the other side, the people of the mansion rushed over and asked anxiously, "Young Master Lin, are you all right? We really don't know what's going on with these people." Lin Xian waved his hand and didn't let them continue. Instead, he reached out and grabbed the head of one of the assassins. His golden pupils emitted light, and that person screamed miserably. The expressions of the others changed drastically. Damn it, those assassins wanted to attack, but Lin Xian blasted that person back. That person's body exploded, and his soul was directly entangled by the chains. Then he was torn to pieces. "Are you from the Great Desolate Mansion? Humph, I'll fulfill your wish if you want to die." Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing attacked. Those assassins wanted to retreat, but in an instant, two of them were killed. Murong Qingqing also killed one of them. In the blink of an eye, 3 sages had fallen. And then another 3 sages had fallen. Stop! A furious roar was heard as a figure flew over from afar. It was Yu Quan. When Lin Xian saw this scene, his eyes bloomed with cold killing intent. Do you think you're worthy of being on the sage list? Other than despicable sneak attacks and assassinations, what else can you do? The surrounding people were all stunned. Could it be that these people were sent by Yu Quan? Yu Quan snorted coldly. I don't understand what you're talking about. You don't understand? Then what are you doing here? Lin Xian sneered. Yu Quan said that I'm naturally here to ensure fairness. Since you have a life and death duel in a few days, I naturally guarantee that no one will disturb you during this time. That's why I came over when I heard the noise. As soon as these words came out, the corners of everyone's mouth twitched. To be honest, even they didn't believe these words. Yu Quan was so kind. However, they didn't have any evidence. Despicable. Murong Qingqing snorted coldly. Lin Xian laughed. In that case, we should be grateful to you. There's no need to be grateful. I'll ensure fairness. I'll naturally do what I said before. However, I advise some people to enjoy their last few days of life, because it's very likely that they'll fall in a few days. These people are very suspicious. I'll bring them back and interrogate them. After I find out their whereabouts and identities, I'll definitely give you a satisfactory answer. With that, without waiting for Lin Xian to say anything, Yu Quan waved his hand and released a terrifying desolate chain, sealing these people. Then he directly took them away. Murong Qingqing asked, "Isn't Brother Xian going to chase after them?" The surrounding people were also surprised. It shouldn't be. With Lin Wudi's personality, how could he let these people leave? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and smiled. There's no need. Didn't he want fairness? Give him fairness. Speaking up to this point, he had someone arrange a new palace for him. After he and Morong Qingqing walked in, their expressions changed. Did he think that no one would know what he did? However, I've already taken his soul. Next, I'll use his method to give him a taste of his own medicine. If he can assassinate me, I can assassinate him too. With that, Lin Xian sent out a demon saint to assassinate the other party. On the other side, Yu Quan brought people back to his residence. Those people knelt on the ground. Young master, we didn't do our job well. Please punish us. Yu Quan snorted coldly. Forget it, this matter isn't your fault. That kid is too strange. You guys go and recuperate. A few people went down. Chapter 40-36. Yu Quan snorted coldly. So what? He dared to challenge me before because my cultivation was suppressed on planet Celestial. With my current cultivation, I can kill him with one hand. How would he dare to go against me? In the end, he was also a human. As long as one was human, they would have fear. They would fear death. There are still 5 days. Prepare well. After 5 days, no matter what the final result of the deathmatch is, Lin Wuti must die. Yes, I'll go prepare now. The old man left. Yu Quan snorted coldly and returned to his cultivation room. At night, the dark curtain fell. Yu Quan had been cultivating. As an expert on the pilgrim role, in addition to his extraordinary talent, his perseverance and his pursuit of higher realms were also necessary conditions for him to become a powerhouse. Therefore, whenever he had time, he would cultivate crazily. He slowly formed a seal with his palms, and a terrifying aura of desolation flew out from his fingertips and was absorbed by him. It formed a mysterious cycle. However, at this moment, he suddenly opened his eyes, and his expression changed drastically. In the next moment, he spat out a shield and placed it in front of him. With a boom, the place where he was standing collapsed. Yu Quan was sent flying, and his qi and blood were in turmoil. The shield he took out was a supreme treasure, and it blocked the terrifying energy attack. Who the hell dares to sneak attack me? Yu Quan was furious. He had never thought that someone would dare to assassinate him. Boom. In the midst of his anger, another terrifying piece of information was transmitted to him from behind. It wanted to kill him completely. Not good. Yu Quan's pupils constricted, and he spat out a broken sword from his mouth. The broken sword was covered with cracks, and Yu Quan's eyes were bloodshot. Explode. That broken sword suddenly enlarged, cutting through the heaven and earth. Then it abruptly exploded, blocking this terrifying attack. Whoosh! Violent laws filled the air, and energy surged. Yu Quan tore through the void and escaped. At the same time, the people of the Great Desolation Mansion rushed over. What's going on? Protect the young master. For a moment, the surroundings were in chaos. Kill! Yu Quan roared and charged back with his men. In just an instant, he had lost a super powerful saint artifact. How could he be willing to accept this? He had to capture the other party and find out who he was. They charged down and tore apart the laws, but found that the person had already left. Damn it! Yu Quan was so angry that he stomped his feet, and the others' faces turned cold as well. That elder walked over and said coldly, "Search quickly." He couldn't have gone far. The surrounding people moved out frantically, but they still returned without any results. The elder came to the ruins and carefully sensed for a while. Then he grabbed a lump of aura. "Young master, look, this black aura should be demonic qi." Demonic qi? Yu Quan frowned. Was it someone from the demon race? It was said that Lin Wuti had an unusual relationship with the devil race, and had once led the heaven devil race's experts to attack. The last time, it was also the heavenly fiend race's experts who took action, and blocked the 10,000 Swords Pavilion's people. Are you saying that Lin Wuti sent someone to assassinate me? Yu Quan was instantly enraged. Damn it, this brat actually dared to assassinate him. Did he not want to live anymore? His face turned ferocious. Now he finally knew why Lin Wuti had let him take away so easily. It turned out that the other party was planning to give him a taste of his own medicine. He didn't know what was good for him. At first he thought that he had some brains, but now it seemed that he was an idiot. How dare he provoke me outside? Let's go and kill Lin Wuti with me. They rushed over aggressively. Although many people were resting at night, this terrifying scene still alarmed countless people. What happened? What a terrifying desolate aura. Why do I feel a sense of desolation? It's the great desolate mansion's people. Let's go and take a look. Countless people followed from afar. Isn't that the direction where Lin Wuti is? Heavens, is Yuquan going to attack Lin Wuti again? He's really strong. Lin Wuti, get out here and die. After Yuquan arrived with the great desolate mansion's experts, he let out a roar that shattered the void below as it couldn't withstand it at all. In Lin Wuti's mansion, the faces of those people turned extremely pale. They couldn't withstand such a scene at all. The door of the palace opened, and Lin Xian and Morong Qingqing walked out. Lin Xian looked at the sky, then said to the people beside him, "Go back and sleep. I'll help you settle this matter." With that, he stepped into the air and walked forward. Isn't he a genius on the pilgrim role? Why did he leave in the morning? Is he here again at night? I don't have any spiritual tea here to entertain you. Lin Wuti, you're courting death. How dare you assassinate our young master? Kneel down and die. The great desolate mansion's experts at the side roared. When the surrounding people heard this, their faces changed drastically. What's going on? Did Lin Wuti attack Yuquan? He's giving him a taste of his own medicine. I knew it. With Lin Wuti's character, he wouldn't let this matter go so easily. I don't like what you're saying. Which eye of yours saw me sending people to assassinate him? Lin Xian shrugged his shoulders. I knew you were trying to quibble. Look at what this is. The great desolate lake's elder waved his hand, and a ball of black demonic aura rolled in his hand like a black poisonous snake. Has he found evidence? Many people exclaimed. Lin Xian didn't care at all. What can a ball of demonic aura prove? I'm from Wuxia City, and I've never cultivated demonic aura. You can say that my swordsmanship is superb. You can say that my physique is strong, but you're trying to frame me with demonic aura. Do you think everyone is an idiot like you? You. Elder Zhang was so angry that he was trembling all over. Yuquan said, "There's no need to quibble. Everyone knows that you can mobilize the Heavenly Fiend Tribe's experts. This demonic aura was left behind by the Heavenly Fiend Tribe's experts. What else do you have to say?" Lin Xian sneered. Did you get hit in the head by a door? Are you still asleep? The Heavenly Fiend Tribe killed someone. Why are you looking for me? Can I mobilize the Heavenly Fiend Tribe? Do you think that's possible? The Heavenly Fiend Tribe is a terrifying existence. Why should they listen to me? Besides, even if I can mobilize one or two of them, can I mobilize the people in the Heavenly Fiend Tribe's residence? What if other people can mobilize the Heavenly Fiend Tribe? You want to prove that I'm the murderer with this little evidence? I'm afraid it's impossible. If you can prove it with this evidence, then I can say that I've already searched your soul during the day. The people who tried to assassinate me during the day are from the Great Desolate Mansion. Shouldn't you give me an explanation as well? At this point, Lin Xian's eyes flashed with a cold killing intent. The surrounding people discussed among themselves. Indeed, there wasn't enough evidence to take action. If they took action forcefully, they would be provoking Wuxia City. What a sharp-tongued brat. Let's see if you can walk out alive in 5 days. Yuquan waved his hand and left with his men. Have they left? The people in the mansion heaved a sigh of relief. Lin Xian pulled Morong Qingqing back to the palace. After setting up the array, he said, assassinate him every day for the next 5 days. Yes. The great devil saint disappeared again. Chapter 40-37. Yuquan had just returned and started cultivating when he encountered another assassination attempt. Yuquan was so angry that he almost vomited blood. He frantically searched for that person, but that person disappeared again. Damn it. Over the next few days, Yuquan encountered assassination attempts every day, making it impossible for him to cultivate. He couldn't even sleep, causing him to be on the verge of collapse. Lin Xian, on the other hand, began to appear in various cities with Morong Qing. It seemed like they were enjoying the life of a saint. Many people cried out in surprise when they saw Lin Xian. This was the legendary Lin Wuti. Was his wife Morong Qingqing? She was so beautiful. There was actually such a beautiful woman in the world. That's not right. I heard that Morong Qingqing was injured, and the Saint Death duel was in a few days. How could she have the time to stroll outside? Everyone was puzzled. However, when they saw Morong Qingqing swallowing treasures from time to time, they all went crazy. Oh heavens, what did she just eat? A small dragon. Many people went crazy. Some saints also swallowed their saliva. That wasn't a dragon, but dragon marrow. It was extremely precious. Damn it, did she just eat it like that? She was really generous. What happened next caused everyone to break down even more. They discovered that other than the dragon marrow, there were also treasures like Great Earth Spirit Liquid and 10,000-year spirit herbs. Morong Qingqing ate them like snacks. We were worried that she would be injured. What a joke. With so many treasures, even the most serious injuries would have healed by now. Many of the sages' mouths twitched when they compared themselves to others. If they had such treasures, they would carefully cut them into 100 pieces and eat them at the most crucial moment. Morong Qingqing ate them like snacks, making them envious. On the 9th day, many experts arrived. Among them, Golden Crow Race and Peacock Race arrived. Golden Crow Race sent another crown prince, the 6th crown prince. As soon as he arrived, he declared that he would kill Lin Xian to avenge his brother. Peacock Race also sent a princess, the Peacock Goddess. It was said that her strength was terrifying, and her bloodline power had reached an unfathomable level. Everyone on Greenwater Planet was excited. It seemed like the two Saint Death duels would erupt tomorrow. Is he here? When Lin Xian heard the news, his eyes also shone. 6th Crown Prince Humph. This time, you won't be able to return. The 10th day finally. As the sun rose, countless martial artists screamed excitedly. On the ground of Qingshui Planet, 2 arenas appeared. It was said that it was forged by the peerless expert Duan Qingshan tens of thousands of years ago. It was extremely sturdy and could be used in a battle to the death. Countless golden chariots flew across the sky, and a majestic figure landed on the battle platform. His voice rang out in all directions. Lin Wudi, come and die. Along with it came boundless flames that engulfed the 9 heavens. So terrifying. This is the Golden Crow 6th Prince. He was much stronger than the 7th Jinwu Crown Prince. It was said that he had entered the Minor Saint realm long ago. It was rumored that he was a strong contender for the Pilgrim rankings. I feel that Lin Wudi might not be able to contend with him. Lin Wudi had created countless miracles. Maybe he could create another one this time. Everyone discussed animatedly. Some supported the 6th Golden Crow Prince, while others supported Lin Xian. Both sides were in a heated argument. On the other side, Jian Chuncheng also walked up the stage. He carried a long sword on his back and didn't say a word. Today's duel was extremely important to him, so he had to give it his all. The previous duel let him know how powerful Morong Qingqing was, so he didn't dare to be careless. However, he would definitely win this time because he had obtained another powerful trump card in the past 10 days. In the void, a beautiful lady sat on the 5-colored war chariot. Her body was covered in 5-colored light. She should be the Peacock Race's princess. Princess Kaixia. Apart from her, Yuquan was also here. He looked down at the duel from above. Emoshio was also here, along with other experts. This duel could be said to be the center of attention. Under everyone's expectant gaze, 2 figures walked over from afar, hand in hand. The 2 of them were like immortal children, making countless people envious and look up to them. They're here. Lin Wudi and Morong Qingcheng are here. At this moment, everyone's gaze fell on the 2 of them. Qingcheng, be careful. Lin Xian reminded her in a deep voice when they were nearby. Brother Xian, you should be careful too. I will end the battle quickly. Morong Sini came to the stage. She and Jian Chuncheng had already fought. She was confident that she could kill him today. On the other side, Lin Xian also walked up the stage. You are Lin Wudi. Later, I will use your blood to pay tribute to my 7th brother. You are Lin Wudi. Later, I will use your blood to pay tribute to my 7th brother. Really? You're very confident. But it's a pity. Today, I will send you to hell and reunite with your 7th brother. Not only that, I will also send the princes of your Golden Crow clan to hell one by one. Ignorant ant. Do you think that you can contend against me just because you killed my 7th brother? Not to mention killing my brothers. Today, I will let you know what strength is. A trace of disdain appeared in the Golden Crow Sixth Prince's eyes. So what if Lin Woody's legend and battle achievements were? He was confident that he could defeat him today. In the next moment, he directly made his move. The wings on his back flapped, and he instantly arrived in front of Lin Xian. He raised his palm and slapped Lin Xian's face. It seemed that not only did he want to kill Lin Xian, but he also wanted to use the most humiliating method to kill Lin Xian. Everyone exclaimed. If he was hit, it would be a slap in the face. Humph! Lin Xian coldly snorted, and an extremely terrifying light burst out from his eyes. He also slapped his opponent's face with his palm. And his speed was even faster. It seemed that the two of them were going against each other from the beginning. Some of the powerhouses gasped. The sixth prince of the Golden Crow clan's expression changed. It seemed that his plan was not going to work. He would not let Lin Xian succeed. He waved his palm and slapped Lin Xian's palm. Boom. Boom. The two collided. Boom. It was as if two suns had collided. The terrifying flames and light tore everything apart. However, what shocked everyone was that the sixth prince's palm cracked, revealing white bones. There was also blood on Lin Xian's palm, but it was not his. It was his opponent's blood. It ran out and stained his palm. After that attack, he took a few steps back, and his expression became extremely ugly. The others exclaimed. Tianya! The sixth prince of the Golden Crow was injured with one attack. In the competition of physique, Lin Xian actually had the upper hand. That was too unbelievable. The Golden Crow was a legendary divine beast. Its physique was so strong, but it was suppressed at that moment. Everyone was in an uproar at this shocking scene. On the other side, Murong Qingqing also turned her head and looked over, a smile appearing on her face. It seemed that Brother Xian was not in any danger. Jianchen was also shocked. Fortunately, his opponent was not Lin Xian, but Murong Qingqing. Taking advantage of the fact that the other party turned his head to look, he suddenly attacked. The starry sky sword slashed through the air, bringing with it a dazzling light. In an instant, it enveloped Murong Qingqing. Please recommend monthly vote, subscribe, collect reward. Chapter 4038. How despicable and shameless. How dare he suddenly attack? He doesn't have the demeanor of an expert at all. Many of the onlookers screamed. Murong Qingqing's beauty had attracted a large number of followers. Now that they saw Jian Chen's despicable attack, the Heart Saint was naturally displeased. However, the people of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion sneered. What do you know? How can you pay attention to other things when experts are fighting? That's right. Murong Qingqing is courting death because of her arrogance. How can we be blamed? Damn it. I've never seen someone so shameless and arrogant. The surrounding people were so angry that they vomited blood. The peerless beauty couldn't have fallen just like that, right? No, the fatally beautiful fairy will definitely be fine. The followers clenched their fists tightly. Jian Chen's lips curled into a smile. Even if he couldn't kill his opponent with this strike, he would still be able to injure him. He would continue to expand this advantage. It seems that you're really not that strong. How dare you come up with such a despicable method? Amidst the terrifying sword light, a cold voice rang out. Then, a phoenix palm directly pushed the sword curtain away. Murong Qingqing was unscathed. Her beautiful eyes were filled with coldness. How could it be? She wasn't injured. Jian Chen's face turned somewhat ugly. The people of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion also cursed inwardly. Murong Qingqing was too terrifying. The surrounding followers cheered. Great! The fatally beautiful fairy was indeed unparalleled. Humph! 10,000 Swords Pavilion, just wait for your misfortune. Buzz. Murong Qingqing made her move, attacking Jianchen. Jianchen gritted his teeth and roared. He had to win. The two of them fought fiercely. In the other arena, the sixth Golden Crow Prince was at a disadvantage in his first exchange of blows. He couldn't tolerate it. He roared crazily and his palm healed. Then he turned into a flame and charged over again. Of course, he didn't dare to fight in close combat this time. Instead, he took out a golden sledgehammer and smashed it repeatedly. The sledgehammer was filled with flames that seemed to be able to burn everything. In the face of such a terrifying attack, Lin Xian sneered and summoned the Death Dharma. He condensed the Death Demonic Saber. A terrifying saber light swept out and extinguished all the golden flames. The originally scorching aura between heaven and earth also dropped rapidly. The two of them fought fiercely, using all sorts of techniques. It was truly a shocking scene. Right at this moment, the Golden Crow Sixth Prince shouted angrily. He opened his mouth and spat out 36 golden battle swords. They formed a sword formation between heaven and earth, trapping Lin Xian within. Those golden battle swords were incomparably terrifying. They all had the image of the Golden Crow on them. Was this the Big Dipper battle sword? Many people were surprised. A few older generation figures were also alarmed. Did the Golden Crow Sixth Prince bring this type of thing over? How were they supposed to fight? That was because the heavenly battle sword was the Golden Crow Saint King's saint weapon. Legend had it that the Golden Crow Saint King had used the 36 golden holy swords to kill everyone. Thus he created an illustrious reputation. In front of the Saint King's weapon, even if Lin Wudi had 10 lives, it wouldn't be enough. Some people's eyes lit up. He stared at the 36 swords with fiery red eyes. If he could snatch them, suddenly someone screamed. No, this was not the real Big Dipper battle sword, but a replica. Was it actually a replica? Everyone was shocked. However, even if it was a replica, it was still extremely powerful. With the means of the Golden Crow tribe, this was definitely the strongest saint weapon among those of the same level. And from the looks of it, it should be specially made for the Golden Crow Sixth Prince. This was an exclusive saint weapon. Kid, I admit that you have a strong physique. But so what? The biggest mistake you made in this generation was to become enemies with the Golden Crow tribe. Now you can go and repent. The Golden Crow Sixth Prince revealed a sinister smile. After being enveloped by the Big Dipper sword formation, even a mid-stage minor saint might not be able to survive, let alone Yi Shiwen. However, things went beyond his expectations. Lin Xian directly tore open the void and used the spatial shift to escape the sword formation. In the next moment he activated the Tai Chi diagram and charged towards the Golden Crow Sixth Prince. Yin and Yang Qi circulated, forming a terrifying yin-yang fish that kept spinning. The terrifying aura caused everyone's expression to change. How could it be possible? The Golden Crow Sixth Prince was also stunned. He really didn't expect Yi Shiwen to dodge his Big Dipper sword formation in an instant. Moreover, Yi Shiwen could still return. In his carelessness, he didn't have time to escape. Get lost. He struck out a terrifying flame that formed a sky full of Golden Crow fists to fight against the formation. The Tai Chi diagram rampaged and sent all the flames and fists flying. It instantly cut off one of the Golden Crow Sixth Prince's arms. Ah! The Golden Crow Sixth Prince retreated and screamed. His voice made people's scalps tingle. The surrounding people were all stunned. They didn't expect the Golden Crow Sixth Prince to be injured like this. The Golden Crow Sixth Prince was even more sinister. He was completely stunned. How was this possible? Yi Shiwen actually injured him again? And this time, his injuries were even more serious than before. He couldn't accept it. Lin Xian used the void shift and instantly chased after him. Another Tai Chi diagram hit the Golden Crow Sixth Prince's body, causing many cracks to appear on his body. This attack almost cut the Golden Crow Sixth Prince in half. The Golden Crow Sixth Prince looked sinister. He didn't expect Yi Shiwen to be so seriously injured. Get lost. He opened his mouth and spat out a stream of true sunfire towards the Tai Chi diagram. At the same time, he frantically retreated. The true sunfire was very terrifying. Lin Xian didn't dare to be careless and used the Tai Chi diagram to block it with all his might. At the same time, he felt the 36 battle swords behind him charging towards him. Get lost. He waved his fist and sent out countless fist shadows, causing the 36 battle swords to tremble continuously. However, the Heavenly Dipper sword slash was too powerful. His fist couldn't do anything to it. However, these battle swords couldn't do anything to him either. He used the stellar transposition in his hands and waved them to both sides. These battle swords were like fish that slid past him. Despicable brat. How dare you make me suffer such serious injuries? I definitely won't let you off. The Golden Crow Sixth Prince's body recovered. His eyes were bloodshot. Originally, He came with a supreme aura and wanted to suppress his opponent. However, he didn't expect to be suppressed by his opponent. He couldn't bear it. 36 Heavenly Dipper Swords kill. After saying that, he used all his strength to control the Heavenly Dipper Sword formation. At this moment, he stood in the middle of the Heavenly Dipper Sword formation, forming a powerful defense. Then, the 3 swords flew up and emitted an incomparable radiance as they slashed forward. The flames on the golden battle swords were monstrous, making it hard for people to open their eyes. The entire world was dyed red by the light. Buzz, buzz, buzz. 3 streams of light charged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian's expression was solemn. The Tai Chi diagram spun and rushed forward. Bang, bang, bang. The 3 battle swords pierced through the Tai Chi diagram, but they were stuck in it. So powerful. They actually broke through Lin Wudi's yin-yang power. Countless people screamed. Although they didn't know Tai Chi, they knew yin-yang. This was the yin-yang diagram in their eyes. It represented the source energy of heaven and earth. How powerful was it? Now the Heavenly Dipper Swords could actually pierce through it. Chapter 40-39. Continue. The 6th Golden Crow Prince controlled the remaining 30 swords and turned them into streaks of light. He wanted to completely shatter the Taiji diagram and kill his opponent. With a boom, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The 6th Golden Crow Prince looked carefully, and then laughed proudly. From where he was, the Taiji diagram was broken, and the 36 swords had pierced through Lin Xian's body. Ha 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 ha, he's dead. That's great. I can finally take my revenge. However, the surrounding people were all stunned. They saw that the 36 swords had all pierced through the Taiji diagram, but they were all stuck by it. Very good. The corners of Lin Xian's lips curled up. He waved his hands and the Taiji diagram spun, sending the 36 swords flying. And that direction was where the 6th Golden Crow Prince was. Oh no, the 6th Golden Crow Prince is in danger. Everyone's expression changed. The Golden Crows also screamed. Crown Prince. They were all crazy. They realized that their Crown Prince didn't dodge at all. Instead, he stood there and smiled foolishly. What was the meaning of this? In the blink of an eye, the 36 swords had already arrived in front of the 6th Golden Crow Prince. Then they stabbed into the 6th Golden Crow Prince's body. Although the 6th Golden Crow Prince had a strong physique, he couldn't block these swords at all. In an instant, his body was pierced through. Blood flowed out. Ah! The 6th Golden Crow Prince's pupils constricted as he screamed crazily. He screamed crazily. Impossible. What happened? Why was he injured? Moreover, he was so seriously injured. It shouldn't be. He clearly saw that the other party was pierced through by the swords. Damn it, could it be an illusion? The 6th Golden Crow Prince was extremely powerful. He immediately figured it out. He must have fallen for the other party's illusion earlier. Damn it. He was crazy. When did he fall for the other party's illusion? Moreover, the other party's illusion was too powerful. He was not prepared at all. The corner of Lin Xian's mouth curled into a cold smile. He was the one who had cast the illusion. It was easy for the heavenly secret divine eyes to affect the other party. Moreover, the 6th Golden Crow Prince was already impatient and murderous. In addition, he had been injured before, which made him crazy. Thus, there was a huge flaw in the other party's state of mind that could be overcome in an instant. Thus, the current situation was created. Humph, you aren't much either. You can't even compare to your 7th brother. Lin Xian walked forward. In his hand, a demonic blade of death was formed and slashed down. Damn it! The golden crows in the sky were enraged. The 6th Golden Crow Prince's pupils also shrank. He raised his golden hammer to block the attack. With a clang, the golden hammer was sent flying, and one of his arms was chopped off. The life force and blood on it were quickly draining away. Then it turned into a skeleton. Ah! The 6th Golden Crow Prince's wound was also tainted by the law of death. At this moment, it was absorbing its vitality. He roared crazily and unleashed the true sun flame, igniting these death laws. His expression was extremely ugly. Being pierced by the 36 Heavenly Dipper Swords caused him to suffer fatal injuries. The current him was no match for the other party at all. Therefore he gritted his teeth and said, "Damned brat, you actually dared to use illusions to harm me." This battle doesn't count. Well, fight another day after I recover from my injuries. The surrounding spectators were shocked when they heard this. It seemed that the sixth Golden Crow Prince had admitted defeat. It was too unbelievable. The other party was so arrogant before he came that countless people even thought that he would definitely win this time. The one who would die would be Lin Xian. However, the scene of the battle was beyond their expectations. Lin Xian looked up to the sky and laughed after hearing this. What do you think this is? Are you kidding around? This is a life and death battle. It's either you die or you die. You actually want to fight another day? Do you think that's possible? The demonic blade of death slashed down crazily. How dare you? I'm the Golden Crow Prince. Men, take him down. The sixth Golden Crow Prince roared crazily. He dodged the blade with difficulty, but he was sent flying by Lin Xian's kick. The cracks on his body became even bigger, and he vomited large mouthfuls of blood. The golden crows in the sky rushed down crazily. Damn it, how dare you? Umph. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and a death crack appeared where his long blade pointed, directly cutting off the sky and the earth. The golden crows felt the law of death on it and were shocked. They joined forces to break his law of death. These people spat out the flames of the sun and burned. On the other side, Lin Xian turned his head to look at the sky again. UK, didn't you say that you wanted to maintain the fairness of the battle? Now it's time for you to stand up. The Golden Crow clan wants to go back on their word. What do you think we should do? In an instant, countless gazes fell on Luo Yuquan. UK's face darkened. Damn it, why did the other party drag me into the water at this time? Young master, don't fall for his trick. The elder next to him reminded him. UK nodded. I know, he said, regarding this matter I think. He wasn't done yet. Lin Xian nodded. Very well, UK said that one of us must die in the life and death battle. So we'll listen to young Master Yu Quebec. Die. As soon as he finished speaking, his death demonic blade directly enveloped the sixth Golden Crow Prince. Ah. The sixth Golden Crow Prince let out a miserable scream, but he couldn't leave the blade light at all. UK, who was in the sky, was also stunned. His face became extremely ugly. Damn it, when did I say that one of us must die? I told you to stop. However, it was already too late. The sixth Golden Crow Prince had been pierced by the battle sword, and was already seriously injured. He didn't have much fighting strength left. Now with the addition of the death demonic blade he died directly, and his soul was destroyed. The corpse fell to the ground. The people of the Golden Crow clan went crazy. Another one of their princes had died. This was an earth-shattering matter. How were they going to explain it when they returned? The surrounding people were also dumbfounded. The sixth prince was dead. Lin Wudi was really decisive. This time, he probably wouldn't rest until the Golden Crow clan was dead. Good stuff. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. The Golden Crow meat was a top-grade delicacy. How could he miss it? Moreover, he also took a fancy to the 36 heavenly dipper swords, so he waved his hand and directly sealed the corpse. The five elements laws kept spinning, forming a five-elements seal that enveloped the corpse. Then he put it away. Seeing that the sixth prince's corpse was gone, the eyes of the powerhouses of the Golden Crow clan turned red. Damn it! They finally tore apart the death demonic blade and attacked. Die. Hand over our crown prince's corpse. Attacks rushed out crazily. Lin Xian used the void escape and dodged these attacks. He came outside the arena and sneered. Why? Do you want to take revenge? Is the Golden Crow clan so petty? We agreed on a life and death battle, but you didn't prepare to die. Why did you come to fight this battle? The surrounding people were also discussing animatedly. Yes, in a life and death battle, defeat means death. This is a very normal thing. The sixth Golden Crow Prince pretended to be cool, but he didn't expect that he would be defeated. In the end, these people couldn't take it anymore. Humph, what Golden Crow clan? They don't have any tolerance at all. If you agree to a bet, you must be willing to admit defeat. Chapter 40. Damn it. Hand over the corpse of our crown prince. These people gritted their teeth. Yu Quan's expression tightened. Hurry up and say it. Before he could finish, Lin Xian laughed. Young Master Yu Quan, you're drooling. Don't worry, I'll share half of it with you. Alright, if there's nothing else, you can get lost. What? You still want to have a life and death battle? I'll take it. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The people of the Golden Crow clan killed him in a fit of rage. These people rushed over in a frenzy. On the other side, Yu Quan, who was in the sky, threw the blame to him again. He could clearly feel that the people of the Golden Crow clan had released their killing intent towards him. What? You want to die? I'll grant you your wish. In the sky, a terrifying black chi shrouded down. It was an extremely terrifying message that blocked the illusions of the Golden Crows in the sky. Damn it. The people of the Golden Crow clan gritted their teeth in anger. Do you think we're not prepared? At this moment, the people of the Golden Crow clan snorted coldly. They condensed an immemorial shadow. They condensed an immemorial void beast and charged towards the demon saint. They already knew that there was a powerful devil saint by Lin Xian's side, so they were well prepared. Sure enough, the late minor saint expert of the devil race was also pressured, and was suppressed for a moment. Old ancestor, they are very strong. Why don't you think of a way to leave first? The devil saint said. Lin Xian's face turned gloomy. These Golden Crows are really despicable. They even used such a powerful method. It was impossible for him to retreat. After all, Murong Qingqing was still here. However, he was not afraid of this kind of attack. At most, he could use the Great Sage Pagoda. He formed a seal with his palms, wanting to summon the Great Sage Pagoda. However, at this moment, a gourd smashed down, blasting away many Golden Crows. Cracks also appeared on the immemorial Golden Crow's silhouette. Damn it! Who is it? The minor saints of the Golden Crow clan went crazy. Who could be so strong? In the next moment, they saw a sloppy Taoist walking towards them from afar. He looked like a drunkard, swaying as he walked. At this moment, he held a gourd in his hand. Damn it! This guy actually dares to meddle in our affairs. Does he want to die? The Golden Crows gritted their teeth. The sloppy Taoist glanced at him. Did he still want to fight? I don't mind enforcing justice on behalf of heaven. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. The Heavenly Law Alliance's people were all from the Heavenly Law Alliance. Did the Heavenly Tao sect send an expert to protect Lin Xian? Wasn't he abandoned by the heavens? Could it be that the legends weren't true? The people around him went crazy. The experts from the Holy Lands were also stunned. Lin Xian was surprised as well. He had seen this slovenly Taoist before, as well as the other members. For example, Taylor Hua. Furthermore, he knew that the Heavenly Tao Union was not called the Heavenly Tao Union, but the Deity Tao Union. However, when he left planet Tianming, he remembered Taylor Flower saying that they had helped to stop the Bronze Emissary. However, they shouldn't have bothered with ordinary pursuits. Could it be that someone even more terrifying had arrived this time? Damn it! The people from the Golden Crow tribe also had ugly expressions. The Heavenly Law Alliance was an extremely terrifying and mysterious existence in the second astral realm. If they were to interfere, it would be difficult for them to deal with them today. At this moment, the crowd exclaimed again. Because in the other arena, there was a change in the battle between Murong Qingqing and Jianchen. Originally, Jianchen was suppressed and even injured. He was about to be defeated. However, at this moment, for extremely terrifying sword chi came out of his body. As soon as the four-sword chi came out, it directly sent Murong Qingqing flying. Heavens, Jianchen actually had such a trump card. No way, what kind of sword chi is that? It's too terrifying. Many people exclaimed. Lin Xian frowned as well. Damn it, this wasn't the sword aura of his opponent. He could clearly feel that these four-sword auras were definitely not something that Jianchen could produce. In other words, it was someone else's sword chi that was left in Jianchen's body. Looking at the elders of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, he understood. This should be Jianchen's trump card. He wanted to use this method to kill Qingqing. How despicable. Murong Qingqing, I admit that you're powerful, but so what? Today you'll definitely win. It's a pity that such a peerless beauty like you is going to die. However, it's because you're Lin Woody's woman. Today, I'll kill you in front of him with my own hands. I'll let him know what pain is. Speaking of this, the four-sword chi around him became even more dazzling, as if they were heavenly swords. These four-sword chi were formed by the four elders of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, continuously for 10 days and 10 nights. Its power was boundless. Even 10 Morong Qingcheng wouldn't be able to block it. This was his greatest trump card. It was also the reason why he dared to participate in the Holy Death Match. This was because the 10,000 Swords Pavilion cultivated the 10,000 Swords Return to Origin. This peerless cultivation technique allowed them to absorb other sword chi and store it in their bodies. Then they would use the sect origin sword. These four sword chi were enough to destroy everything. Well, now it's all over. Jianchun waved the starlight sword in his hand, and four terrifying sword chi shot forward. The sky fell and the earth cracked. Countless people screamed. The eyes of the followers turned red. Was Morong Qingcheng going to die? They couldn't bear to see such a peerless beauty die. Damn it, Jianchun was despicable. This was definitely not his strength. But so what? Even if these people knew, so what? When the sword fell, no one could change the situation. Lin Xian's face darkened. He even wanted to attack. However, the people of the Golden Crow tribe stopped him. Kid, I'll let you know what pain is. The Grand Desolation Mansion also sent out their experts to keep an eye on Lin Xian. At the same time, UK sneered. I won't allow anyone to destroy the fairness. Speaking of this, he sneered. Since the other party dared to make him a scapegoat twice, he would let the other party's woman die here. Damn it. Lin Xian's face darkened. He wanted to activate the Void Escape and use the Great Dragon Sword Soul to attack recklessly. At this time, Morong Qingcheng laughed. So this is your trump card. It's actually someone else's strength. Jianchun, I really look down on you. You don't deserve to be the chief disciple or a swordsman. On Morong Qingcheng's body, a seven-colored light bloomed and the shadow of a phoenix surrounded her. At the same time, a small pagoda appeared in her hand. The small pagoda was exquisite and emitted a mysterious light as soon as it appeared. So what if you say so much? In the end, I'll be the one who lives. Jianchun charged forward. In the next moment, an earth-shattering sound was heard. Was she dead? Everyone was paying attention. Morong Qingcheng was very likely to die. However, Lin Xian was stunned. He didn't attack. Instead, he sneered. Chapter 40-41. They realized that not only did the terrifying seven-colored phoenix not weaken, but it became even stronger. Through the law, they saw that Morong Qingcheng had blocked the four-sword chi. In front of Morong Qingcheng, there was a small exquisite pagoda that blocked everything. How could it be? Jianchun was stunned. The people of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion were also crazy. How terrifying were the four-sword chi. Morong Qingcheng definitely couldn't block it, but she did. Damn it. What was the exquisite pagoda? They were extremely shocked. The others were also discussing. Lin Xian was also surprised. He could see that the exquisite pagoda was exactly the same as the desolate pagoda in the Jade Lake. Of course, it couldn't be the real desolate pagoda. Lin Xian guessed that it should be a replica. However, the replicas of extreme-grade weapons were far more powerful than other sacred weapons. It was not difficult to block the four-sword chi. Your trump card was just SOSO. The curtains of this battle were about to fall. Morong Qingcheng activated the exquisite pagoda and completely suppressed the sword chi. Then, the seven-colored phoenix rushed out. No. The elders of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion screamed. Jianchun, retreat quickly. Jianchun also retreated frantically. He had lost, but he didn't want to die. He tore the void and wanted to leave. With his strength, it was no problem for him to escape. Moreover, there were so many sword saints of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion nearby. As long as he left the life and death arena, no one could hurt him. However, in the next moment, his body stiffened and he couldn't even move. Damn it, what was going on? What kind of power was this? Jianchun was terrified. Morong Qingcheng was also stunned. She thought that her opponent could really escape, but in the next moment, she found that the seven-colored phoenix was different. In the midst of her seven-colored light, another five-colored light appeared, directly imprisoning the other party. Was someone secretly helping her? At this moment, her seven-colored phoenix had turned into Kunlun Slash. Her opponent's body was split open. Blood splattered everywhere. Jianchun was completely dead. No. The people of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion screamed crazily. They couldn't accept that their chief disciple had been killed. Damn it, many sword saints rushed over in an instant. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Let's see who dares to make a move. He came to Murong Qingcheng's side, emitting an extremely terrifying aura. In a battle of life and death, it is up to the heavens to decide the outcome of the battle. Don't you understand this? The sloppy Taoist said indifferently. Damn it. The 10,000 Swords Pavilion was so angry that they wanted to vomit blood. The corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up into a cold smile. Great, that despicable bastard is finally dead. However, Murong Qingcheng frowned. Lin Xian was worried. Qingcheng, are you injured? Murong Qingcheng shook her head. I'm not hurt, but things are a little strange. At the last moment, Jianchen should be able to escape the arena, and the sword saints would be able to protect him. But she was held in place by someone. Held in place? Lin Xian was puzzled. Murong Qingcheng said, in my 7-colored phoenix, there is a 5-colored light that shrouds the opponent. The opponent couldn't move at all. The 5-colored light also had the ability to hold the body. Lin Xian instantly thought of the Qianquan mountain. That was the treasure of the peacock race. He raised his head and looked at the princess in the 5-colored chariot in the sky. He frowned slightly. Are you saying that the peacock race helped you in the end? How is that possible? The peacock race was the enemy of the peacock race. How could they help? However, he knew that Murong Qingcheng wouldn't be wrong. It was really a strange thing. He didn't know what the princess of the peacock race was planning. The beautiful figure in the 5-colored chariot in the sky said calmly, let's go. Hearing this, the people of the peacock race drove the 5-colored chariot and flew away. Are the 2 battles of the great saints over? Everyone was very emotional. However, at this moment, there was an extremely terrifying aura fluctuation between heaven and earth. Under their feet, the ground rolled and a terrifying array formation was formed. It shrouded everyone. At the same time, many figures appeared in the sky. The aura on their bodies was very terrifying. Who is it? It's not a trap. Everyone roared. Damn it, run. These people went crazy in an instant. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. He stared at those people in the sky. They were the killers of the human world. Oh no, it's dangerous. Lin Xian's expression became extremely ugly. This time, there were a lot of killers, and there was an extremely terrifying killing array here. Why didn't they sense it before? In an instant, those killers attacked crazily. Together with the terrifying killing array, some people died in an instant. Blood dyed the ground red. Everyone inside was attacked. Whether it was the Golden Crow race, the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, or Yuquan and the others, they were all hunted down. In fact, even the bystanders were mercilessly killed by them. Lin Xian and Murong Qingcheng were the focus of attention. In an instant, 10 great saint slayers charged towards them. Buzz! Lin Xian punched in all directions, forcing those great saint slayers to retreat. At the same time, the Linglong Pagoda in Murong Qingcheng's hand shone brightly. The 2 great demon saints kept attacking to protect Lin Xian's safety. The slovenly Taoist master roared and attacked as well. The battle broke out. It was very intense and chaotic. The slovenly Taoist master not only wanted to protect Lin Xian, but also everyone. This was because he used the gourd to release monstrous flames to defend himself. The human world wanted to kill all of them. It was too terrifying. Moreover, the Heavenly Law Alliance had received the news in advance. What was even more strange was that this happened after the peacock race had left. Lin Xian's mind was spinning rapidly as he attacked the enemies. He felt that it was too strange. Especially the princess of the peacock race. The moment she left, she became a saint. If it was a coincidence, then his luck was too good. Moreover, the other party had helped Murong Qingcheng and killed Jianchen, which made him feel that it was inconceivable. He smelled the scent of a conspiracy from it. Could it be that this Princess Caixiao of the peacock race had some connection with the human world? Let's go. Lin Xian brought Murong Qingcheng into the Great Sage Pagoda. He directly broke through the killing arrays and killed his way out. The others also escaped deeply. Those killers of the human world kept chasing after them. Lin Xian's Great Sage Pagoda was very terrifying. In addition to the Linglong Pagoda in Morong Qingcheng's hand, they tore apart all the pursuers. They left this world. Is Brother Xian leaving? Does he not need to care about those people in the human world? Lin Xian looked down. Forget it, the human world is too terrifying. The reason why we were able to kill our way out was because of the sacred artifact in our hands. If not for this great sage pagoda, it would not have been easy for us to come out. Furthermore, the deity Dao Alliance interfered in this matter. I think that with their strength, they should be able to suppress it. Indeed, before they left, Lin Xian seemed to have seen a flood dragon descend from the sky and tear the entire array apart. He knew that it should be the flower tailor. With such an expert here, the people of the human world should have retreated. Let's go back to Peerless City. Lin Xian had already been out for so long. It was time for him to return to Peerless City. Chapter 40-42. Peerless City. In Watersky City, Shi Bufan and the others also came out of seclusion. After returning from planet Tianming, they had been digesting the treasures and fortunes they had obtained. Today all of them came out. Because Lin Xian was back. Senior brother Lin, they all gathered around him excitedly. During this period, the news about Lin Xian did not decrease. Instead, it increased. When they came out, they were shocked. This must be senior brother Lin's wife. She's so beautiful. A lot of people looked at old Morong Qingcheng, revealing a shocked expression. Morong Qingcheng nodded slightly and greeted them. Wang Xiaofeng gritted his teeth. Doesn't senior brother Lin already have senior sister Shen? He even has such a beautiful wife. Morong Qingcheng spoke again. Oh yes, where's Qiaoer? Isn't she here? They were shocked. It seemed like Morong Qingcheng knew about Shen Jinqia's existence. Furthermore, it seemed like they were on good terms. It seemed like they had worried too much. These people looked at Lin Xian with envy in their eyes. They wondered what senior brother Lin did to be able to pursue two peerless beauties at the same time. What a blessing! Wang Xiaofeng walked out and said, Senior sister Shen hasn't returned yet. Lin Xian said, I was with Qiaoer earlier. She has some things to do. I think she'll be back after she's done. Alright, don't crowd around here. Hurry up and cultivate. When the time comes, we'll create a new world together. The surrounding people went back. Lin Xian brought Morong Qingcheng back to his own cultivation ground. As the chief disciple, his residence was much better than the others. After returning, the two of them had a good rest. On this day, a figure arrived. Morong Qingcheng, who was admiring the flowers in the courtyard, was stunned. Fu Hongya was also stunned. This must be the saintess of Kunlun Pavilion. Fu Hongya. I'm here to look for junior brother Lin. Morong Qingcheng nodded. Lin Xian walked out from inside. Senior brother Fu, you're here? I won't disturb you, right? If you're busy, I'll come find you later. As he spoke, he looked at Morong Qingcheng. Morong Qingcheng blushed. Lin Xian said that he wouldn't delay. Oh right, I have golden crow meat here. You can take half of it. Lin Xian handed over a storage ring. Fu Hongya's eyes lit up. Junior brother, you're really something. Fu Hongya had eaten the golden crow meat before, and was still thinking about how to get some. She didn't expect Lin Xian to give it to her. Then I'll accept it without hesitation. He took it and said, Master wants to see you. Junior brother Lin, you have a high chance of becoming the next direct disciple. Upon hearing this, Lin Xian was stunned. Fu Hongya's master was the owner of Peerless City, the Peerless Saint King. If he wanted to see him, could it be that he really wanted to take him in as a direct disciple? After hearing this, the core disciples who lived in the surrounding area popped their heads out one by one, and exclaimed in surprise. Is senior brother Lin going to become a direct disciple? That's really worth celebrating. With senior brother Lin's strength and status, it was only a matter of time before he became a direct disciple. They were really envious. The status of a direct disciple was even higher than that of a chief disciple, because it was the disciple of the Saint King. Of course, there were only 3 generations of disciples in Peerless City. Of the 3 chief disciples, only Lin Xian wasn't a direct disciple now. However, it seemed that he would be soon. Qingcheng, you can cultivate here first. I'll go with senior brother Fu. Then Lin Xian followed Fu Hongya and flew into the depths of Peerless City. Peerless City was very big. Fu Hongye even had to take him through 2 teleportation portals to reach their destination. There was a light screen in front of them. Let's go in. Fu Hongye led Lin Xian through the light screen. In the next moment they walked in. Lin Xian realized that there was another world inside the light screen. There were birds chirping and flowers fragrant. It was like a celestial paradise. In front of a waterfall, there was a figure standing. Lin Xian looked over and realized that it was a teenager who looked to be about 16 or 17 years old. His face was very handsome, and his eyes were extremely clear. There was an unparalleled spiritual energy in them. Who was this? Could it be that he was also a direct disciple? Lin Xian was stunned. He didn't know that there was such a genius in Peerless City. Just by looking at the other party's temperament, he was probably an incredible genius. He didn't know. What kind of person was the Peerless Saint King? His master had arrived. Fu Hongye walked forward and said respectfully to the 16 or 17-year-old teenager. Lin Xian, who was beside her, opened his eyes wide. His jaw was about to drop. Oh my God, did he hear wrongly? Fu Hongye also called the kid in front, Master. This young, delicate, and adorable youth was actually the Peerless Saint King. Lin Xian felt that he was about to faint. Because in his imagination, unparalleled Holy King should be a majestic middle-aged man with a majestic gait. He didn't expect him to be so young. Of course, he knew that the Peerless Saint King only looked young on the surface. He was definitely an old monster who had lived for thousands of years. However, for a powerhouse who was thousands of years old to have such a childish appearance, he still looked like a child. The Peerless Saint King turned and looked at Lin Xian with a faint smile. Fu Hongye said, Junior brother Lin, what are you looking at? Hurry up and greet the Saint King. Lin Xian came back to his senses and quickly cupped his fists. Greetings, Senior Saint King. Fu Hongye also said, Master, Junior brother Lin might have lost his composure because this is his first time meeting the Saint King. The handsome teenager waved his hand as if he didn't care. Hongye, you can leave first. Yes. Fu Hongye respectfully left the mystical secret realm. Only Lin Xian and the Peerless Saint King were left. The surrounding was filled with the chirping of birds and beasts, as well as the sound of the waterfall. The Peerless Saint King had his hands behind his back. Although he looked young, his eyes occasionally shone with a deep light. One could tell that he was an overlord of the astral boundary, a supreme existence. He walked around Lin Xian 3 times, nodding his head continuously. Looking at Lin Xian, he felt his hair stand on end. Damn, what is this Peerless Saint King doing? What is he thinking? Did he really anger him just now? I wonder why the Saint King is looking for me. Lin Xian took a deep breath and asked in a deep voice. The Peerless Saint King clapped his hands and laughed. Good, good, good. He said the word good 3 times in a row, his eyes filled with satisfaction. Hearing this, Lin Xian also heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that the Peerless Saint King had a good impression of him. I wonder if the Holy King summoned me here because he wants to accept me as his personal disciple, he asked with a smile. Lin Xian felt that it was very likely to be this matter. However, the Peerless Saint King shook his head. No, I can't accept you as my personal disciple. Chapter 40-43. Can't. Lin Xian was stunned. What does he mean? If he doesn't want to take me in, why did he call me here? Seeing Lin Xian's puzzled expression, Peerless Holy King laughed. I don't want to take you in as my disciple because I can't. Because you're my junior brother. What? Lin Xian was completely stunned. Junior brother? How did I become Peerless Holy King's junior brother? He had never seen Peerless Holy King before. Aren't you Zhu Jiangxian's disciple? I'm Zhu Jiangxian's disciple. You're Zhu Jiangxian's disciple. Lin Xian was completely stunned. Zhu Jiangxian was also Wine Lord. Lin Xian was indeed Jiu Ye's disciple, but he had never thought that Wine Lord had other disciples. And this disciple was Peerless Holy King. Isn't this too unbelievable? Lin Xian had never thought that he would have another senior brother. Moreover, it was Peerless Holy King. Junior brother, come with me. Peerless Holy King waved his hand, and Lin Xian walked forward. He still felt like he was in a dream. However, after listening to Peerless Holy King's explanation, Lin Xian gradually understood that this was indeed Jiu Ye's disciple. That means he's really my senior brother. No wonder he can't take me in as a disciple. Master, how are you doing? Peerless Holy King asked. Lin Xian sighed. I haven't seen him in a long time. The last time I saw him, he seemed to have recovered a little. The two chatted for a long time. Peerless Holy King said, although I'm only your senior brother, I can teach you any martial arts problem. As long as I know it, I won't hold back. But there's one thing. This identity can't be made public for the time being. Other than the two of us knowing, you have to act like how you were before. Alright, I understand. Lin Xian nodded. Alright, junior brother, let me see your current strength. Peerless Holy King smiled and stood up. Display your laws. Lin Xian displayed the 5 elemental laws, death, sun and sword laws. Peerless Holy King was shocked. With your current strength, you have no problem killing an early minor saint. Holy Saint, your laws, Peerless Holy King. Peerless Holy King was far surpassing Lin Zuant's. By far. Therefore, with his guidance, Lin Xian was able to correct some of his mistakes. His understanding of the laws became even more profound. Peerless Saint King could give some pointers on the sword Dao, but he could not give any pointers on the divine body. The 9-yang divine body was rare in the world, so Lin Xian had to figure it out himself. Fortunately, he had the divine body inheritance. As long as he had enough resources and opportunities, he would be able to improve his 9-yang divine body. Little junior brother, take this jade pendant with you. You can come to my mystic realm directly at any time. After a month, he left temporarily. Outside, Fu Hongye was still waiting. Seeing Lin Xian come out, Fu Hongye smiled. Junior brother Lin, how is it? Have you become a personal disciple? Lin Xian shook his head. How is that possible? Fu Hongye did not believe it. With Lin Xian's talent, he was probably stronger than him. How could he not become a personal disciple? Lin Xian said, my reason is very special. Because I have a master before. I promised him that I will take him as my master for the rest of my life. Therefore, I will not take any other master. Peerless Holy King understood this very well. That was why he said that I cannot take him as my master, but he can teach me. So that's the reason. Fu Hongye was surprised when he heard it. However, he also said that since Lin Xian could be a personal disciple, it was about time for him to become a personal disciple. Then the two of them left. Lin Xian returned to his mansion. You're back. Morong Qingqing walked out and asked, how was it? Lin Xian said, do you know, I still feel like I'm in a dream. He walked in and told Morong Qingqing. Morong Qingqing was also surprised when she heard it. Peerless Holy King is Lord Jiu's disciple? Doesn't that mean he's your senior brother? Lin Xian nodded. Is it a dream? It was indeed a dream. Morong Qingqing was also surprised. Oh right, Qingqing, this matter must be kept a secret for now. Don't spread it. In the following days, Lin Xian had nothing to do, so he went to the Wushuang secret realm. He could even take Morong Qingqing with him. Because his identity was not ordinary. Peerless Holy King naturally had no objections. In fact, he was very happy. There were many holy lands for cultivation in the Wushuang secret realm. Lin Xian had tried them all. Some of them were surprisingly effective, but of course they were also very dangerous. There was a bloody path, and Lin Xian was seriously injured inside. Oh right, junior brother, I haven't given you a greeting gift the last time we met. This time, senior brother will give you a greeting gift. What greeting gift? Lin Xian was surprised. How could the Holy King's greeting gift be bad? Enter the waterfall. Lin Xian walked into the waterfall. In the next moment, he found a cave inside. After entering, he sat down cross-legged. Then, she felt an endless amount of pure energy rushing towards her from all directions. This energy was too strong, but it was not violent at all. It was unusually gentle. It allowed him to safely absorb it. Lin Xian was overjoyed. He was too shocked. Senior brother wants me to raise my cultivation to another level? This is really a huge gift. He was now at the late stage of the 5th heaven. If he could raise his cultivation to the next level, he would be at the 6th heaven. In other words, he would enter the small saint realm. Finally, am I going to enter this realm? I need to stabilize my mind and focus on breaking through. Outside, Peerless Holy King shouted coldly. Lin Xian quickly came back to his senses and did not dare to think too much. A cold light burst out from his eyes, and he quickly absorbed the energy. After 3 days and 3 nights, an extremely terrifying aura came from inside. With a loud boom, the void in all directions started to tremble. With a long roar, Lin Xian flew out from the waterfall. His body was shining brightly, and his sword qi was monstrous. At this moment, his aura was countless times stronger than before, because he had reached the early stage of the 6th heaven. Small saint. He had finally become a small saint. His strength was much stronger than before. Previously, he could kill people at the early stage of the 6th heaven. Now he had reached this realm. Ordinary experts of the same level were no match for him. Unless it was an extremely terrifying genius like him. Only then would they be able to fight him. Otherwise, with his strength, killing ordinary 6th heaven saints would not be a problem at all. Even now, Lin Xian was confident that he could fight against the geniuses on the pilgrim list. Yuquan. A cold light appeared in his eyes. After entering the small saint realm, it seemed like he would have to fight with his opponent. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.